Good morning, everyone. This is BremSter. This is very early on a Saturday morning. Actually, I'm going to turn my heater on. That's a great way for me to start the stream, isn't it? Um, yeah, very early on a Saturday morning for me. But I realized that it's been a couple of months since I've done I've done a gas stream, I believe. I've been doing a lot of streaming on other channels, but I haven't been doing any here. And I have definitely been feeling the Sudoku pinch. I've been doing a lot of personal solving of puzzles that I cannot stream because they're paid content. But I thought, hey, Sotek, I'm having to look in different places because I'm not on my gaming computer. It's very strange. And I wanted to, hey, Ratfinks, basically get back into doing some Sudoku for a bit. I thought, oh, maybe I could do some more of the Telos principle. It's like, no, let's do some Sudoku today. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do some gas puzzles. Those streams always seem to be popular, which I assume means people like them. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to look at. Oh, I didn't. Yeah, there's always going to be a conflict, and don't care. I'm not doing this for. I mean, I'm doing this for the audience, but this is what I wanted to do. I'm streaming these. I wanted to do some gas puzzles. I'm not trying to steal from Zeta. Thank you for mentioning Zeta is streaming. Everyone, Zeta Math on his channel is streaming. If you find this and you drop in here, please feel free to jump over. And if you find this as a video on demand, go check Zeta Math's channel. It's amazingly good fun. I don't watch it anywhere as near as often as I should. Anyway, I am going to try some genuinely approachable Sudoku from 2022. I'm about halfway through July, so the next puzzle I'm going to do is a clover puzzle called Semi. Let me bring it up and restart the timer. It's called, actually, this one has outside clues, so it may not be lined up on the screen. So I'm just going to move it around. What's it called? It's called semi-non-consecutive, which I don't think I've done. There was a did I mark it off at the end of this last stream? That's a good question. I'm going to do it anyway. If this is the puzzle I ended the last guest stream with, then I'm doing it twice. Um, uh, yeah, that could happen. This could be the puzzle I finished the last stream with, and I'm using it to get back in the game. That just could be the way this is working. So, normal Sudoku rules apply. In rows and columns marked with a 0, adjacent digits may never be consecutive. In unmarked rows and columns, adjacent digits may or may not be consecutive. Um, so they're the rules. I am way out of practice with just getting in the flow of these. Interesting that digit isn't that and that. So there is some consecutiveness. Let's give this a shot. I'm not sure where to start. So I can see 3 is in one of those two, but that's that by Sudoku. So where does 6 go in this column? Because it can't go in any of those because there's 0 consecutiveness. I can't put 6 next to 7. I can't put 6 next to 5. So that's a 6. The question is now, where does 4 go? Because it can't go next to 5. So 4 goes there. So these are 1. 2 can't go next to 3. So this is 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the 8. Okay, so the question now is, where does 4 go in row 1? That puts it there. Then the question is, where does 6 go? 6 goes there. The digits that are left include an 8, which must go there, and this becomes the 2. 4 can't go in any of those, so the 4 goes there. The 6 can't go in either of those, so the 6 goes there. The 8 can't go there, so the 8 goes there, and this becomes the 2. 4 can't go in any of those, so this becomes the 4. Now I need to place 6, which can't go in either of those. So this becomes the 6. 8 can't go there, so this becomes the 8. And then this becomes the 2. These are triples now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 6, and 9. Well, that can't be 6 or 9, so that's the 3. And then this can't be 9, so that's 6 and 9. I'm just working on triples here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8. Well, this can't be 2 or 8, so that's 5, because 2 and 8 would... Oh, no. Did I just make a mistake down here? I may have. So Can I undo? No, I can't. I can. So what are these? These were 3, 6, and 9. This one has 0, so this can't be 6 or 9. So this is the 3. And then this is 6, 9. And this can't be 9 because there is a 0 in here. I just wanted to confirm because I had forgotten that there were not all rows. So here, 2, 5, 8. This does have 0. So this can't be 2 or 8. So this is the 5. And then in this row, this can't be the 8. So this is the 2 and this is the 8. I have to remember that is an important consideration that I honestly had kind of forgotten. So where to look now? Because I can ignore this row. I can have consecutiveness in this row. So now I probably want to look at 1 is in here with 3. But I can put 1 next to 2 all over this box. I probably want to look at these rows because these are 2, 4, 5, and 9. Well, this can't be 2 or 4 because that would be consecutive with 3 in this row. This can't be 4 because, or 5, or 9. This is just a 2 because 4, 5, and 9 are already in the column. That takes 2 out of those. This can't be 9 because it would be consecutive with 8. One next to 2 all over that box. Sorry, I'm not following. I'm sorry. I might not have seen what you were talking about when you were talking about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 go into these. Now there's no 8 in those by this, so this is the 8. These are 6 and 7. And the 6 here makes this 7 and 6. These are 5 and 9. But that doesn't have a consecutive problem. But it does have a Sudoku digit problem. And I've broken, no, they're not 5 and 9. What are they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. And they've still got a digit problem. This is the 5 and this is the 7. So this is the 4 and this is the 9. This is a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did say that I was using this to wake up. This is the 2 because of the 1, 5 in the column. And there's no consecutive issues on this. Ah, that's what it is, Frappy. Cool. As long as I know what's going on. 1, 3, and 9 go into there. There's no 3 in the middle. Okay. This box or this row? This row worked well for me, so I want to try this row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 3, 4, 6, and 8. Well, there's no 4 in there. There's no 3 or 8 there, so that's the 6, and I can take 6 out of all of them. And I know people do these in different ways where they'll do it all in their head, but that's just not the way that my brain works. The 8 and the 4 make that the 3, so this becomes the 8 and this becomes the 4. These are now, well, this is a pair, 1 and 3. The 3 makes this the 1 and this the 3. This is now a pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4 and 9. And there is a consecutive issue in this column. So this is the 4 because 9 can't be next to 8. This is the 9. So in here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. There's no 5 here. There's no 7 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. No, not 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. There's no 6 or 9 there, so that's the 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 9. So these are 4, 6, and 9, but there's no 4 there. So this is the 6, 9 pair, and this becomes the 4. The 6 here makes this 9, and this 6, and this 9. This 9, of course, means this is not 9. Oh, this 9 means this is not 9, this is the 9. So this is a 1-3 pair. I mean, this is down to Sudoku at this point, right? And I'm just not seeing it. 1 in this box is wide open. 2 in this box is right there. So this is 1, 3, or 5. And it's not 3. So it's 1, 5, giving me a 1, 5 pair, making this the 3, this the 1. Meaning this is not the 1. 1, 5 pair here means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 go into those two cells. So these are 1, 3, and 5. There's no 3 there, so that's a 1, 5 pair. This is the 3. This 6, of course, makes this 7 and this 6, which means this is 5, this is 1, this is 7, this is 5, this is 1, this is 1, this is 5. And that is the correct solution to semi-non-consecutive. Well, that was actually really cool fun. I mean, I keep saying actually really cool fun, like I'm surprised that it was really cool fun. I am not surprised it was really cool fun. That was really cool fun. I don't recall doing that one before, so I don't think I ended the previous stream with that one. So I've done apparently about 190 puzzles now in this stream series, which is cool. Okay, so let's move on to the next one, which has been solved 253 times since the counter was implemented. So it's good to know that the gas puzzles are continuing to get a lot of attention. I think that's really cool. So Clone Arrow by Sam. Let me just check the puzzle position because I moved the previous one around. Okay, so normal Sudoku rules apply. The numbers on the body of an arrow must add to the number in the corresponding circle. The 5 grey areas are all exact clones of each other's with the same numbers in the same relative positions. Okay, so there'll be something here that makes me jump out, or that makes it jump out at me. So this one, for example, C's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are from 7, 8, 9. And I'm assuming it's the same on these ones. I mean, it can't be, it has to be at least 3, but it can't be 3, can't be 4, can't be 5, can't be 6. So it's also 7, 8, 9. Now, four is not in any of those. These are 7, 8, 9. So that is a 4. So this is a 3 or a 5, and this can't be 8 anymore because that would mean this is 4 and 4. So all of these cannot be 8. I'm assuming there's something fun. I mean, I keep coming at these puzzles going, there's got to be something fundamentally obvious I'm missing. There doesn't have to be. I could just be blitheringly stupid. 4 here by Sudoku because there's 4 fours looking into the box. It's possible that putting 8 into these circles is just problematic. There could be a parody trick going on. Like row 5 seems important to me because you can never put 8 onto one of these, but you could potentially put 7 onto one of them with 7 2. So we know 8 and 9 are in here because I don't have 1 available to make 8 1 equals 9. Invisible 3 in column 9. Okay, so this is 5, so this is 9. So all of these are 9. Thank you. And all of these are not 9. No. not 9. Do as I say, don't do as I do. Now, 9, 9. 9 is in one of those two. 9 is in one of those two. 9 is right there. In this box, 9 can't be on an arrow. So 9 is in one of those two, which makes that a 9. I don't feel I can prove that these are 7, 8, 9. I'm not sure I can't do 7, 1, 8. Or 7, 2, 9. It probably feels right, but I haven't proven it to myself yet. 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 7, and 8 are in here. Right. Okay. And there's a 1 in... Right. So this would be from 1, 7, 8, but it can't be a 1 because of the 1 in row 5. So this is a 7, 8. So all of these are 7, 8 pairs. Right. Of course. And this is the 1. So there's no 1 on this. So there must be a 2 on this because otherwise it would be 5, 6, which would be 11. So there is definitely a 2 on this and it's not there. This is the 2. So this is a 5 or a 6. Hey, Selby. So I've never called myself the brightest spark in the box. There must be a 2 on this because it can't have a 1, a 3, or a 4. Otherwise it's 5, 6. So there is a 2 on this. So this is 2, 5 or 2, 6. We know there's a 5 in one of those two. And there's a 2, no, 5, 2 or 5, 3. I'm not grokking quite yet. Right, this is also a 5, 6 because it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, and 8. So this is 5 or 6. So this is 3 or 4. And it's not 4. This is 3. This is 6. This is 5. So this is 7. This is 8. I had a gut feeling that there was a problem. There was going to be a problem with parity if I made this an 8. I'm not sure. Like, there was no proof I had of that. These are 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And I know the order because of that. 7 and 8. I still have a horrible feeling. I mentioned this in a lot of gas streams. At some point, I have this horrible feeling I've gone wrong with the puzzle. And it's because I normally try and solve them a little bit quicker. And it's not... I don't race through these. Like, I'm obviously not trying for a time because I've stopped to explain this. But, like, I don't give a damn about what's on my clock. But at some point, I'm not like spending every time sitting here trying to like refine every deduction as much as I do with some puzzles. But it at some point when I'm doing that, I just feel much more uncomfortable with the puzzle, and it's not the puzzle; it's the way I'm solving it. And yeah, it's why I much prefer to take more time on a puzzle and feel a lot more comfortable with it. This can't be a 3 because this would have to be a 4. So that's the 1, that's the 3. This is the 6, so this is the 5, so this is the 2. In this column, I am missing a 2. That's a 2. So this can't be 2, 5 or 3, 4. So this is 1, 6. And the 6 here means this is the 1 and this is the 6. This row is missing a 1. This box is missing a 3. This 9 can't be 1, 8, can't be 2, 7, can't be 3, 6, so it's 4, 5, and I'll use that 5. 5, 4, and 5. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8. Can't put an 8 on a 7 arrow. Not unless I can put a -1 in, but we're not playing with that rule set. These are 1, 2, and 6. If this is a 1, this would be an 8, and I can't do it. If it's a 2, it would be a 7, maybe. If it's a 6, it would be a 3, and I can't do that. So this is 2 and 7. 2 comes out of those. This 1 means that that's the 6 and that's the 1. 4, 5, and 7. 7 comes out of there. Well, that's the 4 because I can't put 4 in either of those. This 5 makes it the 7 and that's the 5. The 1 and 3 still need to go in the column, but there's a problem with 1 right there. So that's the 3, that's the 1, that's the 3. That means this is a 6 to make this arrow work. These are 2 and 8. So these are 5 and 9. This right here I can eliminate down to a single option, which seems to be a 5, which makes this 9 and this 5. 1, 2, 6. Well, I can't put 2 in either of those, so I'll stick it there. And then I'll use this 6 to make this 1 and this 6. I'll use that 2 to make this 8 and this 2. I'll use this 2 to make this 6 and this 2, and now I'm down to a single box, which often I can do unless I've made a horrible boo-boo. These are 7, 8, 9. 8 and 9 means that's 7. And I know this is the slow way of resolving the ending. I should be able to do this in my head, but as I say, I often find it easier and more comfortable to do it this way. 9:59, almost 10 minutes with all of the faffing about I did. That was a really cool one. I like that one. So, hey Ken. Pastel Day. Not Pastille Day, Pastel Day. I can tell these colors apart. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits in non-white cells must be greater than the digits in orthogonally adjacent white cells. Okay. So this is a 1. Not for any reason to do with the pastel cells, but because every box must contain the digits 1 to 9 without repetition. And I got everything else. Yeah, I'm good. This has to be lower than all of these. So this is a 1 through 4. This is a 1 through 4. This is a 1 through 3. And this is a 1 through 4. I'm comfortable with it. These are also 1 through 4. So 6 is in one of these two. 7 is in one of those two because these are also 1 through 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 7 is in one of those two, which puts 7 in one of those two. Not sure I'm looking at this the right way. These are 1, 2, and 3. So this is a 1, 2, 3 triple. So these are 5 and 6, and I can put in the 6 and the 5. Six goes in one of those two, and that 6 means it's not there. This is the 6. And these are a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple, which at this point is kind of pointless. The same here. That's pointless once I mark these 7s, and that's pointless once I mark these 6s. This is a 1, right? Those are 1s. These are 1s and 2s. Seven in box 9 is actually... 7 can't be next to the 6. This is the 7. One is in one of those. One in this box is in one of those two. So this is a 1 or a 3. And this is a 3 because it has to be lower than 4 and it can't be 1 and 2. This is not the one. Zathras keeps visiting my study. 5 in box 8. Right, 5 in box 8. Which puts 5 in box 2. 5 and... Well, that places 5 and... That's all the 5s. Not the digit I expected to start with, to be honest. Seven. Well, that's a 7, which means that's not a 7 and that's a 7. 7 is in one of those two and one of those two. Eight is now there, which puts 8 there. And 8 is in one of those two and one of those two. This is a 789 triple and has been for a while, without that being 8, without that being 7, and without that being 9. And do I have the same up here? No, I don't. But I do have 9 in one of those two. That, however, is a 6. Because I can't put 6 there because it's not lower than 5. Can't put 6 there because it's not lower than 4, and that 6 is knocking it out of there. That's a 6. So these are a 1, 2, 3 triple. And that's not a 1 or a 2. So that's the 3. There is no 3 in those. This is looking rather limited. Well, it's 1, 2, or 3, and it's not a 1 or a 3. Okay, so that's the 2, that's the 7. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, and 9. There's no 8 there, there's no 9 there, there's no 4 there. This is the 9. This is an 8, 9, 4, 8 pair. And not sure. So this is 4, 8, 9, and it's not 8 or 9. So that's the 4, that's the 8, that's the 4, that's the 9, that's the 7, that's the 8. So this is another 1, 2, 3 triple. And we know that the 3 must be over here. This is a 1, 2 pair. This is the 3. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. Oh, now, but there's no 1 here. I'm going to get rid of these pencil marks because they will freak me out. This column, 1, 2, 9. So that's 2 or 9. And this is 1 or 2. So this is the 9. This right here is looking a little bit limited. I might put a 6 in there for good measure. These are 1, 2, and 4. There's no 1 there. That's a 1, 2, 4 triple. So 1, 2, this is a 3. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is a 3. Hello, Philip. 1, 2, and 4 again. That right there is a 3. Using logic I normally wouldn't use on a gas puzzle, which is 3 has to go in one of these for the row, and now I can't put 3 in there, I can't put 3 in there. 3 has to go in one of those two, and that can't be a 3. There you go. This is a 2 or a 4. This 2 makes this a 1. This is now probably the easier way of doing this. These are 2, 3, and 6, and there's a 6 in there. There's no 6, so this is the 6. This is the 2, this is the 3, this is now a 1, which looks like making this a 2, this a 3, this a 1. Which means this is the 2 and this is the 1. The 2 looks down making this the 1. This is not the 1. The 2, 4 pair means this is the 1. Did I mention Frappy that it's 6:30 in the morning here? A starfighter on threes. My brain's not ready for this. This is a 2-4, giving me a 2-4 in the column, making this the 6 and this the 4. Though I do need practice. This is 2-3-4. There's no 3 or 4 there. So this is the 2. This is the 4. This is the 3. This is the 4. This is the 2. This is the 2. This is the 4. This is the 2. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 9, and the 4 and the 6 makes this the 9. And once again, I know this is not the most efficient way of putting digits in at the end, but it's the way that is most comfortable for my brain. See, the fact that this has had 232 solves in the 7 weeks since I think it is. Actually, it's probably longer. It's probably closer to 10 or 12 by now. But it still had 232 solves in the, let's say, 3 months since Venn implemented the solving counter. And this is a puzzle that has been a year? Yeah, actually it's a year and 1 day old. So that is just it's just stunning that these puzzles are still getting seen so much. I think that's fantastic. And it just shows you what a draw these easy puzzles have for solvers. And that people like, I mean, they're great coffee break puzzles. Okay. Mecco doku. Okay. Hopefully this is one. Normal Sudoku rules applies. Digits separated by a plus must have a sum of less than 10. Digits separated by an X must have a product of less than 10. Not all plus or X are necessarily given. If two digits both add and multiply to values of less than 10, they may be marked with a plus, an X, or neither. Okay. You're over 250k solves now. You've got a way of tracking that? Okay. That's scary. Yeah, I mean, being gas setters would absolutely do that. Yeah, of course. I'm just really, really, I'm going to use the word proud of the fact that someone who has their puzzle featured on my channel normally gets between 1,000 and 1,200, even up to 1,600 solves. I think that's stunning. That is 10 times as effective as Logic Masters Germany on average. I think that's just stunning. Yeah. Okay, so this has to have a product of less than 10. That's got to be right. But this could now be anything. This has to have a product of less than 10. So that means that's a 2. So this now has to have a product of less than 10, which means this can't be more than 5. No, it's less than 10. So this has to be a 3, because the next option is 5, which makes it 10. So this has to be a 3. But this now has to be a 4, because this has to sum to less than 10. And if I was to use the 6, which is the next available digit, now this has to sum to less than 10. So this is 5 or 6, and it's not 5. So this is 6. 9 is in one of those two, but sure. Now this has to be 1 or 3, because it can't be 2, and if it was 4, this would sum to 10. This has to be 1 or 2. So I'm just jumping around the board trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing in my brain. I mean, this was the obvious break-in, sure. You say I'm doing great. I don't feel that. This is a 7. That's just simple Sudoku. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, and 9 go in there, and that is not the 9. So that'd be the easier way of doing this. But I'm not Sure. So this is 1 or 2 because, again, I'm trying to keep the values down. But this could be anything up to 5, which means it's 2, 3, or 5. Again, I get the feeling I'm missing a fundamental trick. This is 1 or 3. Because 1 times 2, 2 times 2 is not possible, 3 times 2 is okay, 4 times 2 is not possible, and 5 times 2 would get me to 10. Which means this, no, this is different because I've got 4 available here. This is 1, 3, or 4. Now, I can't put a 1 on this. So anything with without a 1 or a 2 doesn't work. So there must be a 2 on this. So this has to be a 2, because if I don't include a 1 or a 2, then 3 times 4 is 12. So that's not going to work. So there must be a 1 or a 2. I'm not sure I know his Substack puzzles. No one's told me about them or anything, and I don't know if they're things. I'll have a look at them. I mean, if someone reminds me about it after stream, I'm not. I have 6:30 in the morning brain, so and then this has to be 1, 2, 3, or 4. So it's the same down here, doesn't it? There has to be a 1 or a 2 in here. Because every multiplier must have a 1 or a 2 on it. Otherwise, I hit 3, 4. And I can't put 1 and 2 in those because of that cell. So this is a 1 or a 2. This is a 3. There's no 2 here. This is actually a 5. And what are these? Because these, oh, the 1 could go with anything, but the 2 now has to go with a 4. So there's either a 4 here with a, hang on, but no, there'd be 4, 6, and then the 2 would go with it. This has to be the 1. Because if it's not, I can't put 2 digits here that work. This is the 1, this is the 2. And now this can go with absolutely anything. That is really cool, by the way. There must be a 2 on this, and I now know it's there. And this can't be 1 or 3, so it has to be 4. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 8, and 9. Well, that can't be 9 because anything I add to it would take me over the limit. No, that can't be 9 either. So that's the 9. I have to admit, I'm struggling with wrapping my head around how this one works. I can see 2 is in one of those 2. So this has a minimum of... Well, if I don't put a 3 on this, then the minimum, because I don't have, the minimum this would be is 5, 6. So there must be a 3 on this, which means there must be a 3 down here, and this becomes the 4. Because if I don't put 3 on here without 1, 2, or 4, this is 5, 6, and that is too high. 3... So this is 3, 5, or 3, 6. Either way, I can't put 5 or 6 here, and 3, 7 is too high. So this is the 3, this is the 5 or the 6. These are actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. And the 8 must be in there. There's no 6 there. Actually, there's no 5 in this box at all. This is the 8, this is the 6, this is the 5. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we know the order. That's the 7 and that's the 4 because of that 4. There's no 5 here. There's no 8 here. This is another one where I feel like I'm not doing well. But 7 and 9 can't go there. So 7's not in any of those or there. So 7's in one of those two. 9 is not there or there, but that's not as restrictive. 7 is right there, though. So that's not the 7, and that's the 7. That places 7 right there, and now that's a 7 by Sudoku, which has probably been sitting there for so long it's grown a beard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. There's no 6 there, so 6 is in one of those two. Ah, there's no 5 there. That's even more useful. So that's the 5. The 6, 8 means this is the 1, this is the 8, which bangs a 1 in there, because otherwise I have broken the plus. I would be nonplussed. This would be a 1 and a 2. And these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the 3 here means that's the 4, and this is the 3. This is a stunning puzzle. It's just, wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these are 1 and 2, and that 1 will give me the order. The 2 and the 1 and the 2. So this now, well, this is a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, I'm not putting a 9 on a plus with a 4. And this is not 3, or so 5, 9, and 3 get locked in. So this has to be 6 or 8 for the column. And this entire box needs 6, 8, and 9. Okay, I can put the 3 in there now, which locks the 3 into there. That's not a 3 or a 4. That's a 1, which locks a 1 in there. 4 is in one of those two. This triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9. Well, that's the 6, and this is a 4, 9 pair. And that 9 resolves it. 4 and 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8 go into those. I'll use that 5. So these rows, 2 and 4 go into those. I'll use that 2, 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 9 go into those. I can use either the 6 or the 9 to resolve it. And these are 3, 5 and 8. 3 and 8 make that the 5. And then I'll use that 3 to make that 8 and that 3. The 8 looks like making that 5, 9 and 8. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, and 9. There's no 5 in either of those. So that's the 5. The 8, 9 looks over making that the 6, that the 8, that the 9. 6 looks like making that 8 and that 6. And the 8 and 9 can be resolved by various means. And that was really cool. I love the deduction in this box. I mean, figuring out how the way that these taught you how the multipliers worked and putting the constraints on, and then being able to telegraph this, that was really cool. That was very, very nice. And again, I feel that if I'd been rushing through that and not taking the time to savor, I think is the right word, savor the deductions as you get them. You can definitely speed through these and try and get as fast as possible. But I really appreciate just sitting back and going, that's the way that works, and getting the idea in my head, because I'm trying to think of a way of explaining this. It's like when I'm learning a lesson in training, I suppose is a good example. If a lecturer just sits there and goes, it's this and this and this and this and this and this and this, and then you ask me questions about the third thing he said an hour after the lecture, I'll have no clue. It's just the way I am. And a lot of people I know are the same. And that's because I just raced through it so fast that I've had no time for my brain to process it. Whereas if it's, here is what I'm teaching, here is the example, and or here is what I'm explaining, and here's a couple of examples, and here's how it works, and you get some time for your brain to actually appreciate what it is that's being said, rather than just, I've done that thing, I move on to the next. Then it sticks, and you can sort of savor is the word that I like to use. You can savor that logic and make sure that it's reinforced. Whereas if you're just rushing through all the time, beautiful logic will just be something that you've just immediately absorbed, done, and discarded. And it's discarded. And I don't like discarding beauty. I just don't. Okay, on to the next one, which is a quadruple Sudoku. Okay, this is supposed to be my forte, so we'll see how we go. Again, I love that 276 solves. I think that's great. I need more coffee. I hate the fact that because people are trying for the fastest time that they can get, they just don't savor what they could find. Okay, so quadruple circles, if people haven't seen them before, just, I know everyone here has, but just in case, the digits in the circle must be placed at least once in the four cells surrounding the circle. So for example, there's none in this, but if this 4 wasn't here, it might be possible to put 1s in both of those and then 2 and 3 in those cells, because you just need to place a digit at least once in the cell surrounding the circle. I can see so much with this already. So for example, 3 has to go around here, and that 3 sees both of those. So that becomes a 3, and this becomes a 1-2 pair. But there's more than that, because that's going to be a 2, because I have to put 2 around here, and I have to put 2 around here. I can't put 2 in any of those, so 2 must go in one of those, which means that's the 1 and that's the 2. 3 has to go in one of those 2. 9 is in one of those 2, which means 9 is in one of those 2. The 4 is in one of those 2. The 5 is in one of those 2 for the same trick. Actually, this is a 5-8 pair, because the 5 and the 8 are down here, so I can't put them here. So this is 4-7. Did I have the same up here? Not that I can see. So that means 5 is in one of these 2. So this is a 2-5 by Sudoku. Can't put 5 here or here. So this is just 2-5 by Sudoku, which means this is the 3-6 by Sudoku. So that's a much nicer way of resolving that. Now, one of my favorite tricks is I can't put 2, 4, 7, and 9 into those cells. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 5, and 8. Can't put 1 there for various reasons. So 1 is in one of those 2. Can't put 8 there. Which means 1 is in one of those 2, which puts 1 right there, because I can't put 1 in any of those 3 because of that quadruple. I can't put 1 in one of those 3, and I can't put 1 there because of that. So that becomes a 1, which puts 1 in one of those 2. Now these are 4, 7, and 8. I can't put 8 there, so 8 is in one of those 2, which puts 8 in one of those 2, because again, I can't put 8 there, and I can't put 8 there. So 8 is in one of those 2. These are from 1, 5, 9. Yeah, not sure yet. But I know what these are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are 2, 3, and 6. There's no 2, 3 there. That's the 6. This is a 2, 3 pair. That 2 resolves it. That's the 3, and that's the 2. Pleased with my rant before, by the way. I'm not telling people how to solve or enjoy puzzles. Enjoy puzzles the way you want, but it's just, yeah. I have an internet channel. I'm allowed to be opinionated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8 go into those, but that's not true, by the way. Just because you've got an internet channel does not mean you're allowed to be opinionated. It means you can have an opinion, but you're not allowed to be opinionated. That's the way English works, right? I am bad at the English. So these are 4, 7, and 8. I know 1 is in one of those 2, which means 1 is in one of those 2. Oh, this is a 1-2 pair because of 1 and 2 not being able to be in those cells. So this is a 3-4 pair. Now 3 is not in any of those or any of those. So 3 is in one of those. If it was the first time I've done that, if you enjoy solving puzzles really quickly, solve puzzles really quickly. I just don't see the buzz. I really don't. Um, 4, 7, and 8. Okay. Man, this is supposed to be my jam. I'm supposed to be the quad guy, and one is in here. This seems unable to be an 8. Yes, it really do, don't it? That's a 5, which means this is the 1 and this is the 8. Oh, this is a 2-9 pair because of the 2 and the 9. So this is 4 and 7, which means 4 is down here. Now, does that force 4 onto this quad? I'm not sure yet. No, but it forces 7 onto this quad. No, it doesn't. What am I talking about? I'm a half-wit. I'm true blue. 8 goes in there. 8 goes in there. Thank you, Ken. So this is a triple, and I'm going to mark it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9. So 7 must be in here. 4 is now in one of those two. 2, no, that's 5, that's 2. Invisible 7 in box 6. That's affecting the quad. Ah, right. Yes, this 7 sees that cell. So neither of those can be a 7. So this is a 7-8 pair, which means this is the 4, which means this is the 7 and this is the 4. That, rat thinks, is very, very important. And we know that because of that 7, that's the 8 and that's the 7, which means this is the 5 and this is the 8. See, this is beautiful gas logic. This is really, really cool. Doesn't mean I'm making it fall apart, but it's really cool gas logic. Have I got all the quads locked in now? No, not yet. Huh. That's something. How about let's say? Hang on, 1 and 2. They're not in here, so they're in here. So this is the 1 and this is the 2. And these are 3 and 9. And the 3 in this row is resolving them. 9 and 3. That means this is a 1-9 pair. And these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 8. Yeah. 5 and 8. 1 and 9. So this is known. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, this is a 4. So these are known. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 and 9. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 9 go in there. Oh, the anti-BremSter fan club is apparently a thing. All of my videos getting bombarded with. Apparently, any time I mention that the digits 1 to 9 sum to 45, I am stealing someone's proprietary information. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. There's no 5 in there, so that's the 5. Which means 5 is in one of those two. I've got to watch out for that. This is the 2, this is the 9. Yep. Which means 2 is in one of those two, and it's not there. So this is a 2. I thought you were, Ratfinks. The number of times, the amount of time you spend watching my streams, oh my lord. Both you and Frappy, yeah. One of you's president, one of you's secretary or treasurer or something, and I have no idea which one is which. 1, 2, 3, 6, and 9 go in those. There's no 9 there. There's no 3 there. There's no 3 there. That's the 3. As you can see, this is all about the Sudoku. I'm missing something. The solution, apparently. Okay, so 1 has to go in here somewhere, and it's not in either of those. So that's the 1. And these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 go into those. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 9, I believe. There's no 9 there. So I can't put 4 on this quadruple. I just can't do it. So where is 4 in this column? That's the 4. This is a 6, 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5, 7, 8. This is 5, 7, or 8. But it can't be 7. So this is 5 or 8, giving me a 5, 8 pair, which means this is the 7, this is the 8. That's really nice quad logic, by the way. And this does not feel like a gas puzzle. This feels like a really cool coffee break puzzle. That's not a complaint. I'm loving this puzzle, but it just feels like a step up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this 3 makes this 4. Maybe I'm missing it. Maybe I'm having too much fun chatting. These are 6 and 7. So if those are 6 and 7, there's no 6 in there. That is an 8, 9, which means this is the 5. This is the 8. This is the 5. This is the 8. This is the 5, which means this is the 9. This is the 8. Which means this is the 1, this is the 9, which means this is the 1, this is not the 1. Zathras, get out of my living room. Well, study. 6, 7 go in there, and that'll get resolved from something up here. So the 8, 9 means this is the 6, which means this is the 9, this is the 8, this is the 7, this is the 6, this is the 7. The 6 looks up making this the 3 and the 6. The 6 makes this 9 and 6. No stuff is happening in chat. No worries, Ken. And all of this is resolved by something, right? Like that 5, looking over, making that 3 and that 5, which makes this 4 and this 3, which makes this 7 and 4, which makes this 6 and 7, which makes this 9 and 6, which makes this 2 and 9, which makes this 1 and 2. And I better resolve this as well. That was a lot of fun. Again, something I am not supposed to say, Philip, without me getting reports on my videos for stealing proprietary stuff. Certain channels have incredibly rabid fans. Okay. And I'm not allowed to say anything about it on certain discords without my messages being purged. Okay. Connect the Dots by Philip Newman. I've heard of that guy. Apparently he's really good. Okay, normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits in cages may not repeat or cannot repeat and must sum to the total given. So normal killer, digits in cells separated by a white dot must be consecutive, have a difference of 1. Digits in cells separated by a black dot must have a 1 to 2 ratio. One must be double the other. No negative constraint. Other pairs of digits may also be consecutive or have a 2 to 1 ratio. All right. Well, fortunately, 1 and 2, which is what sums to 3, is in a 1 to 2 ratio, so I'm cool. This is 1 or 3, and the 1 to 2 means that this is the 3, this is the 1, and the only thing that is in a 1 to 2 ratio with the 3 is a 6. I've got the way I like to think about black dots, and I know I've said this a lot. I don't know if I've said this on stream, but I've said this on videos, is one of the digits on a black dot must be low and the other one must be even. Because if you ever get involved with a puzzle that has high, low, or odd, even, that can really help you when you're thinking about a black dot. And they could be both low or they could be both even, but one must be low and one must be even, because one doubles to two, a low and an even. They're actually both low, but there you go. 2 to 4, which are both even and low, but you've still got a low and an even. 3 doubles to 6, 4 doubles to 8, and the next one where you start breaking the rule of low and even is 5 doubling to 10, and 10 is not a Sudoku digit. Really has helped me when I'm playing with high, low, or odd, even, and I've got black dots in the puzzle. So this can't be 1 5, so this is 2 4, which again, and I could never have put 5 on it because 5 is neither low or even. So yeah, I could never have put 5 on this anyway, so 1 5 would never have been possible. Now, I can probably do more with this. Like this is, I can't use 1 4, so this is 2 3, which is fortunately consecutive. There's probably faster ways of doing this. Like that is probably giving me something this, because this has to be odd and it can't be 1 or 3. So this is 5. So this is 4 and 2. There's probably stuff all over the place. Like these have to be consecutive and sum to 15. So there's only 2 ways of making 15, which is 7 8 or 6 9. The other one of those that is consecutive is 7 8. Now this can't be 1 2 3 or 6, so it's 4 or 8, which are the low. So the low and even digits that are left. Now this could be 2 to go to 4, or 8 to go to 4, or 4 to go to 8. So not sure. I can put 5 in there. Katie, I've no idea who's doing it. It's just some of my puzzles get reported. And I do get some rude Discord messages and comments and stuff, which I just now auto delete. And I've banned a few people. It's fine. YouTube tends to ignore it. Okay, so this is 7 9, which is the only way to make 16 with Sudoku digits. And this is 8 9, which is the only way to make 17 with Sudoku digits. Of course, it's a reflection of here, which means, of course, because 9 is taken up in there, this is the 7, this is the 9. 7 is consecutive only with 6 or 8, but I don't have 8 available in the box, so this becomes the 6, which is cool fun. Now, 14. Now, 14 can only be made up. I can't use 7 7. Again, I'm explaining basic principles here. The way I like to think about putting when I've got values like this is I start 14 is a high combination of 2 digits. So I start with 9. 9 would go with 5, but I can't do that because the 9's not available. 8 would go with 6. So 8 6 is possible. And then if I went down again, so starting with the high digit and working down, 7 would go with 7, which would repeat a digit in the cage. And there's no point going any further because when I go to 6, I'm using 6 and 8, and I've already covered the 8 by doing the high one. So this must be 6 8. Now, that means because this is even, this has to be odd, and I can't use 9 or 7, and I couldn't use 1 or 3 because they wouldn't be consecutive. So this goes 5 6 8. Now, right, of course. How do you make 12 on something that's done that is a doubling digit? The maximum you could put onto this is the 8 with the 4, so it's forced to be the 8 with the 4, which means this can't be 2, 4, or 8. This is the 2, this is the 4. Yeah, that was very well telegraphed and I missed it. Thank you, Titus, for pointing that one out. And now the 13 cage is something I would want to look at because I can't use 9 4. I can't use 8 5. I could use 7 6. And then as soon as I get down to 6 7, I'm repeating myself again. I am flipping. Thank you, Titus. I appreciate it. You're allowed to enjoy. This is a community. You're allowed to enjoy anyone you want. I will send people to Ranks, to Cracking the Cryptic, to Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles, to Zeta Math, who I believe is streaming right now. So if he's still streaming, please feel free to choose to go there. I will send people and acknowledge that every other community exists. Every other people exist in the community. The fact that my messages and everything get deleted from CTC, whatever, not my call. But I will acknowledge they exist and tell you what they do good, and I will also mention what I think they do badly. We're a community. We should be able to talk freely. This 8, of course, makes this 4 and this 8. I think a lot of the stuff that they do is amazing. I think some of the stuff they do, I'm not a fan of. That's my opinion. I've said earlier, I got paid for having an opinion. Okay, whatever. But I think most of what they do is good. I think the support that they give the community in some ways is fantastic. Okay, I cannot put 1 in an 11 cage, but I'm distracting myself. This 2 makes this 1 and this 2. What am I doing? 2 is in one of those, but I'm not sure that's helping me. This is an 8 by Sudoku. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 9, which are often important digits. This is not a 5, but I have lost the plot completely. 1 is in one of those 2, but I'm not following what I'm doing right now. So this is, right, these are consecutive, so they're 3, 4. Okay, that was a gimme way earlier. Same here, this is 4, 5. So I should have looked at these way earlier, but I've been distracting myself. So a 3, 4, 7 cage that is consecutive, it can't be 1, 6, or 2, 5, it's 3, 4. 9 cage that is consecutive must be 4, 5 for exactly the same reason. They're the only consecutive digits that sum to 9. But the 3, 4 means that this is the 5 and this is the 4. 11 cage that is consecutive must be 5, 6. They're the only consecutive digits to sum up, and the 6 makes this 5 and this 6. I could have populated these cages right at the start. I think I've made puzzles that use tricks like this, but I'm being obtuse right now. The 4 here makes this 3 and this 4. Now, this 8 cage is probably limited. I can use 1, 7. I could use 2, 6. So if I do, it's 1, 7, or 2. I can't use 2, 6 because I can put either 2, 6 here. I can't use 3, 5, and 4, 4 is probably problematic. So 1, 7. Now, these are consecutive. I'm not sure that's what I'm looking at. 7 is in one of those 2. Not sure that's what I'm looking at. So these are 6, 7, 9. There must be a 6 in them. There's no 9 there. These are 1, 3, and 9. So this is 1 or 9. This is 3 or 9. This is 1 or 9. This is the 3. Because there's 3s looking at both of those cells. So that's a 1, 9 pair. And people are allowed to disagree with me as much as they want as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 into those. So 9 is in those with 6. So this is 7 or 9. 6, 7. So this is the 9. I can't put 9 there because of the 8, 9 pair. Right, okay. What the heck am I missing? It will be this beautiful break-in. I'm blind as a bat today. I mean, it is early in the morning. It is ridiculously early in the morning. One is in one of those 2. This is a 4, 7 pair. How did I get 7? Oh, right, yes. 7 can't be in any of those, and 4 can't. No, that is not a 4, 7 pair. The 4 is in the cage. The call is coming from inside the house. I can resolve the bottom left corner. Ah, the 6 is here because 6 can't be here, here, or here. So this is 7 and 6, and thank you, and 7, which takes 7 out of those, which makes this 9, 5, and 7. That means that is not 9. This is a 6, 7 pair. Beautiful. Thank you very much, Titus. I appreciate it. So these are 1, 3, and 9. No. That 9 makes this the 1 and this the 9. And these are 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, these are 3 and 4. So these are 1 and 2. This is a triple. 7, 8, 9. There's no 7 there. No 9 there. Got to put a 2 in there, which does not look problematic. This looks like it's doing more than it is to me. Like, I can't put 8 there. So it's 2 or 6 if it's even. But that could also be the even digit. 7s are aligned. Ah, right. 7 can't go there or there. See, I don't often look for X-wings in Sudoku, in gas puzzles. I just don't. So 7s can't go in those, 7s can't go in those, 7s can't go in those. So where is 7 in that column? That's the 7, that's the 8, which means that's not the 8. I know that there was an original design concept that I remember seeing discussed, which was that a gas puzzle wouldn't require something as complex as an X-wing. I don't know if that's changed. I mean, this is a year-old puzzle. And it's possible, I mean, using them isn't a problem. People often do. But I don't think it would require it. I could be wrong. If only there was someone in channel I could ask. So this is 1, 2, or 5. This is 1, 2, or 3. Right. Okay. So this can't be 6, 7, 8, or 9, and it can't be 4 or 5. So this is 1, 2, or 3. So this is 1, 2, or 3, and it because it has to be consecutive with 1, 2, 3, which means it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. It can't be 1, 3, or 4. So that is the 2, which means this is 1 or 3 in order to be odd and next to the 2. There we go. Where is 4 in this row? Because it's not in either of those, and it's not there because of that one, and it's not there because of that one. That's the 4, that's the 3. This is a triple. 1, 3, 8. Well, that's not 1 or 3, that's the 8. This 1 makes this 3 and 1. I really feel like I'm floundering on this puzzle. This 8 makes this 9, which makes this 7 and 8, which makes this 6 and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 2, 5, and 9. There's no 9 there. I really feel like I'm floundering on this puzzle. Column 7 needs 3, 4, and 8. So this is the 4. This is a 3, 8 pair, and the 2, 3 gives me the order. This is the 3. This is the 8. Four is in one of those two. This is 8 or 9, and it's 9 because of that 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8 go in there. There's a 4, 8. So this becomes the 5. This is a 4, 8, and I'll use that 8 to make that 4 and that 8. These are now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 9, and I'll use that 6 to make that 9, and that's 6. The 9 looks down, making 9. It is early morning. I started the stream at 6 o'clock in the morning. So this is a 1, 7 pair, which means this is 1 and 7. The 1 means that is not the 1. These are 1 and 3, which means this is 2 or 5, and the 5 means that's 2 and that's 5. So these are 1, 2, or 3. One, 3, 4 in here. There's no 1 or 4. This is the 3. So this is the 1. This is the 3. This is the 4. There's no 3 here. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's no 6 there. That was a terrible way to pencil mark this. There's no 1 or 6 there. this 3 looks up, making this 2 and 3, which looks down, making this 5, which makes this 9. There's no 5 in those. 1, 2, 6. The 1, 2 pair means this is the 6. The 5 makes this the 2, this the 5, this the 1, this the 2, this the 1, and this the 2. Holy cow, I struggled with that one. The Sudoku at the end, I think, is what slowed me right down. I mean, I got a bit distracted by making my rant in the middle. Sorry about that. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this community is all about puzzles. And I've said before that I really do want the when I bring videos, I mean, there's a whole concept of YouTube does keep pushing me to you want to extend the length of your content. The longer content is the stuff that has higher revenue behind it. If I put out an hour-long video, I make nearly 2.5 times as much as I do if I put out a 30-minute video. But the 30-minute videos are the ones that get more positive comments. So I put out 30-minute videos. People seem to enjoy them more. So that's what I do. The 30-minute videos get more views, but they get lower view time. And that's why I get more revenue, because people will click on the video, get the link to the puzzle, and never watch the video. They'll watch like the first 10 seconds. And if people only watch the first 10 seconds of the video, YouTube considers that to be me actually misleading my viewer. So if they click on the video, open the link, and then close the video, as far as YouTube is concerned, I have given the person misleading content because they opened the video and then went, oh, this is not what was promised. And YouTube considers that a negative, and they put that in the negative comment column for promoting my video. So, and I don't know a solution to that. I mean, people have said, oh, you should make it that the link doesn't appear until later in the video, or you should, it's like, no, just no. Or you should hide the link so it's harder to find, or no, I'm not going to make the experience worse for solvers in order to make YouTube happy. No, it's all about puzzles. Make the puzzle front and center. If people do that, then that just negatively impacts my YouTube viewing stats. Yeah, whatever. I'm not going to make YouTube happy. I prefer to make solvers happy than YouTube happy. It's why I will occasionally try a harder puzzle. But I'm not chasing revenue. I'm not locking content behind paywalls. I'm not doing stuff like that because I'm not in this for the money. I'm in this for the community. That's great, Katie. And that is a wonderful way to do it. As I said, I love it when people will often, they'll open the thing, and then they'll mute the video and leave it running in the background. That's great. But I'm not, I will ask people to do stuff like that, but I mean, there's no way I can force people to have a behavior. I just like to mention to people, this is what the reality is. And they can do what they want. I mean, realistically, it's YouTube. But, people are nasty on the internet. It happens. Every time I get a puzzle where I have to mention that the digits 1 to 9 sum to 45, I know I'm going to get hate comments. It's a thing. Okay. First impression. So, normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits in grey squares must be greater than both the first digit in their row and the first digit in their column. For instance, if the grey square in row 4 column 2 contained a 6, then row 4 column 1 and row 1 column 2 must contain digits lower than 6. Okay. I've never seen this before. Well, as I've said, Titus, a lot of people, that's cool, Titus. I do try and solve in a moderately efficient way in order to make the videos not boring. I will not drag out my solve in order to extend view time. I won't do that. That's up to you, Ratfinks. I will Hamilton quote till the cows come home, and tonight is going to be an interesting video for that reason. I'm a bit nervous about tonight's video. The but I do know if I'm solving a puzzle recreationally, um, and then I solve a very similar puzzle or a puzzle that's supposedly the same difficulty on channel will always take me an extra 30%, because I'm explaining as I go. If I'm doing it in my head, it's so much easier. Anyway, let's give this one a shot. So, from what I understand, the first digit in this column and the first digit in this row must be lower than that. Digits in grey squares must be greater than both the first digit in their row and the first digit in their column. So those cells must be a 1. And now all of these are fine from a row perspective, and all of these are fine from a column perspective. Now all of these must be 1 or 2, and because of that 1, this must be the 2 and this must be the 2. Now this must be 1, 2, or 3 to be lower than the 4, and the 1 and the 2 is gone, so that must be the 3, and I've already got the 2. Now here, this must be 4 because it must be lower than 5, and the 1, 2, and 3 is gone. Here, this has to be 1, 2, or 3 in order to be lower than the 4, and the 1 and the 2 is gone, so that's the 3. Now, this just has to be higher than 3, so it can't be 1 or 2. So this is where the logic is going to flip on its head a bit, isn't it? This has to be a 1, surely. Because if I put 1 in any of these, then the start of the row and the column would have to be lower. That has to be the 1. Now, I can't put 4 in either of those because that's not lower. I can't put 4 in either of those because that's not lower. So the 4 is in one of those two. Can't put 5 in either of those or in either of those. This is a 4-5 pair. And the 5 here resolves it. That's the 4, that's the 5. I also could have used those 4s. So these, I can't put 7 in either of those because that's not lower. So 7 is in one of those two. I hope I'm making sense. Can't put 6 in either of those two because that's not lower. This is a 6-7 pair, and this is an 8-9 pair. Sleep well, Titus. Thank you for dropping in. I really do appreciate it. And I'll say to you specifically, good luck with your solving, and I hope to see you again in other streams. If you're interested in video gaming or anything like that, please check out BremSter Games, because I stream there all the time, and try and have a lot of fun doing it. Okay, now, this has to be at least 5, but can't be 5. Can't be 6 either. It can't be 8, can't be 9. This is a 7, because it has to be higher than 4, and it can't be 5, 6, 8, or 9. That is my 7. Now, oh, this 6 resolves the 7 and the 6. Not seeing an 8 or 9 to resolve that yet. This has to be higher than 3. Can't be 4, 5. So it's 6, 7, 8, or 9. It's not 8. This has to be higher than 3. Can't be 4. Not sure that's where I should be looking. This is higher than 4. Can't be 5, 7, or 8. So it's 6 or 9. Right, where is 7 in this box? It's not in those because of that. It's not there because of that. This is D7. D7s. 4 in this row is one of those two, and that 4 makes that the 4. I am already doing Sudoku. Who would have thunk it? Where's 2 in this row? It's not in those two because of that. This is now a D2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I can use either the 3 or the 9 to resolve in that order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8 go into those. Cool. Cool. Really nice opening on this one. 9 is in one of those two. This quad is bugging me because 1, 3, 6, 9. This can't be 1 or 3 because it has to be higher than that, is my understanding, right? Yeah, greater than. So this is not 1 or 3. So that gives me a 6, 9 pair. So I can take 6, 9 out of those. The 3 here makes this the 1 and this the 3. And the 9 here makes this the 6 and this the 9. There was a reason that quad was bugging me. This becomes the 8. This becomes the 9, which makes this the 6 and this the 8. I am now missing pairs in these rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the 3 here makes this the 6 and this the 3. And these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 and 7. And I run out of puff. Okay. I am without puff. So this has to be higher than 3. It's not 4, 5, 6, 7, so it's 8 or 9, and that 9 means it's an 8, which puts 8 down in that cell, which makes that the 9. Cool. I have found some puff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 5, 9. There's no 1 there. So 1 is in one of those two. There's no 9 there. Oh, there's no 5 in either of those. So we get 1 and 9 and 5. 3 is in one of those two. Now, if 3 was there, this would have to be 1 or 2. And it can't be. So that's the 3. This is actually a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's actually a 4. So this has to be higher than 4. 5, 6, 7. So it's 8 or 9. What are these? These are 4, 8, and 9. Well, there's no 8, 9 there. That's the 4. This is an 8, 9 pair. I can use either of the 8 or the 9 to resolve it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 and 7. Use that 3 to make that 3 and that 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll use the 6, 2 and 6. That'll get resolved at some point, I'm sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's the 5 because of the 1, 2 in the row. The 1, 2, I'll use that 1 to make that 2 and 1. This is now a pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 comes out of there. 2 and 6 make that the 5. Which means that's 2 and that's 6. I think I just got there, Redfix. Hi, Mifir. I probably pronounced that terribly wrong. But thank you for dropping in and catching up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which means this is 1 and this is 7. These are a known pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll use that 4, 5, and 4. These are 1 and 2, and I got a 1. I got 1. This is 6 or 7, and there's a 7 looking at it. So I'll just punch in a 6 and a 7 and a 6. And these, I need a 2 somewhere. Well, it's in one of those two, and it's there because of that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got a 8 and 9 that up, and I'll use that 8 to make that 9 and that 8. And that is the correct solution to first impression. These rule sets, they're really, really cool. And the thing that, I mean, I could be wrong, but the thing that often bugs me about these rule sets that I see in some of these gas puzzles is we see them and then they vanish. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I never have puzzles using these really innovative rule sets submitted to me, or they just disappear. And I think that's unfortunate because they're pretty. Yeah, I don't want to try and guess again because I'm sure I would make it worse on my next guess. I apologize. I'm Australian. We are famous for being uncultured. A number in a grey cell must be larger than both the first cell in its row and the first cell in its column. So I've got the same issue. So these must be 1s. These must be 1 or 2, and the 1 means that both of those are 2. These must be 1, 2, or 3, and they see 1s and 2s, so they're 3. These must be 1, 2, 3, or 4, so those become 4s. I'm not trying to be culturally insensitive. I'm just trying to acknowledge that Australians are taught to speak a bit like this. Well, we're not, but I was taught to speak like this, but we're terrible at pronunciation of yeah. People have different linguistic cultures. 1 is in one of those two. 4 is over here. Can't put 4 there, because if I put 4 there, what am I going to put there? It'd have to be something lower, and I don't have it. So 4 is in one of those two. 1 is in one of those two, and I know it's right there by Sudoku because of that thing. 1 is in one of those, but I can never put 1 here because I'd have to put something lower than it. So that means 1 is in one of those two. 1 is in one of those, but I can never put 1 in a square. So this is the 1, which means this is the 1. I mean, I just got a run. I think of like 8 puzzles with German whispers. Yeah. Anyway, so this is at least 5. I'm not sure I'm looking at this the right way. Like these squares, I'm not sure what purpose they serve. I'm assuming they're just decorative, because once I've got the 1, 2, 3, and 4, I can put anything in those. Like I know 5 is in one of those, but apart from that, 4 is in one of those, 2 is in one of those, 8 is in one of those. Interestingly enough, 8 is down here. Yeah, and I'm comfortable with that. The concept of redundant clues for elegance of the puzzle, or is fine. I mean, I'm perfectly happy with redundant clues for symmetry. I'm also happy with redundant clues because there may be multiple ways through a puzzle. I see so many comments on videos where people say, "Oh, I never used this cage. It should have been removed." No, you didn't use that cage. Other people are allowed to. They may have used a clue that you may have used a clue that they didn't. Perfectly reasonable. 3 is in one of those because I can't put it there because it would be lower than the 4. Now, hang on. Digit Grayscale must be larger. This can't be the 8 because the 7 wouldn't work. Right, this is a 5 or a 6, and this is a 5 or a... Right, here we go. This has to be lower than the 7. So this is 5 or 6. This is 5 or 6. In fact, this is 5 because I've got the 6 here. So this has to be lower than 6. I should have just kept going when I done the 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 means this has to be lower than 6, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 5, which means this is 6. Now this has to be lower. This is 5 or 6, but these are 7 and 8, and I can't put 8 there. This is 7. This is 8. There we go. But the 5 here means this is the 6, and these are 5, 7, and 8. There's no 8 there. I can be an idiot. I've had lots of practice. And these are going to be forced by the fact that this has to be higher than 6 and it can't be 7. So it's not 2. So this is the 2. This is 8 or 9. So these are 4, 8, 9. This has to be higher than 5. Can't be 6. So it's 7 or 9. This has to be higher than 6, and it can't be 7 or 9. This is the 8. Which means this can't be 8. Now I've got a 5-7 pair making that 8. This has to be higher than 5. So it's 6, 7, or 9. And it's not 7. This is 7, 8, or 9. It's not 7. This is 8 or 9. Oh, this 8, of course, made this 9, which makes this a 4-8 pair, which I can then resolve because the 8 resolves the 4 and the 8. No, I've broken the puzzle. What? I did something wrong in this box. I did something completely wrong in this box. I don't think it affected this, though, because these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 7, and 9. And there's no 7 there. This is the 7. And if this is a 4, that's broken. This is the 9. This is the 4. Okay. Seven is in one of those. See, I got there eventually. 2, 3, and 5. There's no 5 there. Sorry. After effects of yesterday's migraine. 7 is in one of those two. 9 is in one of those two. Ooh. 7 is in one of those two. Row 6, column 4 must be 9. Ah, yes, it must be higher than 7 and it can't be 8. Yes, that must be the 9. So this becomes the 8. Thank you. So this must be higher than 4. It can't be 5, 6, and it can't be 8 or 9. So this is now a 7, which is nice. So this now becomes the 7. So this is not the 7. This is the 7. So this is now the 5. This is the 9. No, what have I done? I keep messing up these triples, don't I? So let's take the 9s out of there. But this is still not the 7. This is the 7. This is the 5. And these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. That is still true. Which means this is a 4-8 pair. So, yes, this is the 8. No, what am I doing? What is wrong with me? 8 is in here. This is not the 7, and this is a 1-8 pair. What is wrong? It could be the after effects of the migraine. I'm not sure. I'm going to take a short break after this and just go splash some water on my face. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9. So these are 4, 6, 9. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3. Right, that does work. There's no 9 there. Sorry, everyone. I'm struggling a little more than I normally do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. So 5 is in there. 6, 8, 9. So 9 is in one of those two, but it can't be there. So that's the 9, which means that's the 8, that's the 5, and that's the 6. Which means that's the 8 and that's the 6. Sorry everyone, I'm gonna have to pause pause the stream for a moment. Sorry about that, everyone. And first of all, I want to say congratulations, Katie. That's awesome. I'm sorry about having to take a break mid puzzle, people. I just had, and I could feel it coming on, a mild seizure. I've taken some medication, which unfortunately meant I needed to have some food with it. I had to have some high protein food. So, but no, congratulations, Katie. That's anyway. I don't. One of the side effects of a seizure, and is I really don't remember what I was doing for the few minutes before. I remembered I was on stream, but I do not remember the details of this puzzle at all. Number of grey cell must be larger than both the first cell in the row and the first cell in its column. I'm going to not redo it. I'm just going to try and figure out what I'm doing. I can see an 8 here, which I think resolves this 1 and this 8. Um, pardon me, I have just had to eat something. One of the things, a little bit of a secret to solving on camera. I expect CTC don't do this, but I don't know. Often when you see an edit in my videos, I do suffer from seizure and migraine pretty bad. Some of the edits you see, not all, but some of the edits you see in my videos are me having a sudden migraine or a minor seizure, or in a couple of cases, a major seizure. And I don't want to do that on camera. So the interruptions that I get sometimes are seizures. Yeah, I literally will come back to a puzzle that I have no recollection of and do the last half later. And that's just the way it is. I don't like to call it out in the middle of the video. I think that's unfair on the person who's solving, but on a stream where you just saw it, yeah, that that's what happens. Yeah, there the videos don't exist anymore, but there will literally solve videos of me sitting in my chair twitching for 45 minutes. That all got edited out. Yeah. Anyway, this 1 means that this can't be the 1, so this is the 1. 3 is in this column, so 3 is in one of those 2. Not sure what that's doing. Yeah, the whole point is, as I said, it's about the puzzles. It's not about me. I will edit out stuff like that. And it's about presenting the puzzle. So me having a seizure should not result in a puzzle not being seen. I think that, yeah. No, that's why I will always edit at that point rather than dump a puzzle. Always. Every time. This is the triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 2, 3, 4. Not seeing anything with that. Then again, I'm still a bit fuzzy in the head. Waka, waka, waka. 9? No, it's not 9s I'm looking for. Have I done everything with the clue that I can? If this is a 7, this is a... No, this is just Sudoku at this point. So I've done everything with the constraint I think that I can. Except if this is a 6, this is a 5. Does that do anything? I don't think it does. Sorry, I'm still not 100% clear in my head. 2, 5, 6. 7 is in one of those 2. That's not it. What am I looking for? I'll take a hint at this point from chat if anyone's paying attention. 6 is in one of those 2. I'm not proud. 8. 8. 8 is right there. So that makes this a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's no 4 there. There's no 6 there. So 6 is in one of those two. These are 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this is 3, 4, 5. This is only, so these are 2, 3. Wait a minute, what can this be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is only a 2. So this is a 3. There's no 3 here. These are 2 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is a 9. Which means 9 is in one of those two. These are 2, 4, and 5. And there's no 2 there. So this is the 2. This is a 4, 5 pair. So 1, 2, 3, and 6 go in those. 2, yep, I've got 2 in box 8. That's just stream lag. I'm not complaining at anyone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, and 9. So 4, 7, 9. There's no 9 there. Two in this column. Can't go in those, can't go in those, so it's in one of those two, and that 2 knocks it out of there. Again, I'm having to use an X-Wing to solve a gas puzzle. Which I thought was against their original design concept, but I'll take it. My time on this is going to be over half an hour. I'm not going to get any... this is going to be a dinosaur. 5, 6, and 7 in those? I'm not seeing it. Where is 3 in this column? It's not in any of those. It's not in any of those because of the 3 and the fact that that's a 2, 9. It's not in those. This is the 3. This is the 6. The 6 looks up making this 9, which looks down making that 7, that 4, and that 9. The 7 looks up making that 5 and that 7. The 5 looks down making that 2 and that 5. The 2 looks up making that 3 and that 2. This is now 1, 2, 3, 4. So that makes this 3 and this 4, which takes 4 out of those. This is a 5, 6 pair, so this is the 3. So this is 5 or 6, and there's a 5 there. So this is the 6, this is the 5, this is the 6. The 5 looks down, making that 4 and 5. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. And this 5 means that that's 7 and that's 5. There is no 9 there, so the 4 and the 6 can be resolved by that, 4 and 6. Okay. That took me 25 minutes, but I have no idea how long the break in the middle was. I did not pause the puzzle. Sorry about the delay in the middle there, everyone. That was an unintended but necessary byproduct of me having a minor seizure. But I have taken my meds and I should be good now. Okay. So that was the second first impression. So you do get second first impressions. That was probably a pun that was made on the introduction to this puzzle when the message was posted over a year ago. Yeah, I didn't see. If I did see that message, and I probably did, it was a year ago. I don't remember it. So this is a lasting impression. Is this going to be the same thing? Great digits and grey cells must have a value between the left and rightmost of their row and between the top and bottommost of their column. Okay, so if I'm reading this correctly, a digit in a grey cell must be strictly between the digits in the first and last value in their row and strictly between the first and the last value in their column. So, for example, because there is a 2 here, one of those must be a 1, and it's not there. So this is the 1, and this must be higher than 2. Now, this covers for the lower than all of these, but this now must be higher than that digit. So this is going to be at least a 6, which it is by Sudoku anyway. But similarly, because of that 2, one of those has to be a 1, and because of that 1 again, it's not that 1, and this is a 1. Now, this has to be higher than 7, so this is 7, 8, higher than 6, so this is 7, 8, or 9. One of these has to be 9 because of the 8, and it's not that one, so this is a 9. And this has to be lower than 5 in order for the lower than this to cover, because I've got the higher covered. So this is 2, 3, or 4. One of these has to be 1 or 2. And that can't be 1 to be lower than the 3. And that can't be 1 or 2 because that C's 1 or 2. So this has to be 1 or 2 and it can't be 1. So that is 2, which puts 2 in one of those by Sudoku. This now has to be higher than 6 because the lower is covered. And it can't be 7 or 9, so it's 8, which puts 8 in one of those two. One of these has to be higher than 7, and it's not that one because it sees 8 or 9. So this is 8 or 9, and it's not 9, so it's 8. Now, one of these has to be lower than 4 because it's now the higher is covered. So this has to be 1, 2, or 3, and it's not 1 or 2, and that is 3. One of these is higher than 7. And it's not that one because it can't be 8 or 9. So it's that one and it can't be 9. So that is 8. Now one of these has to be lower than 6. And there's a lot of options there. 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's not 3 or 4. So this is 2 or 5. So one of these has to be 9 for this 8. It's not there, so that's 9. So now one of these is 1, 2, 3, or 4, and it's not 1 or 3. This is 2 or 4, and the 4 makes that 2. Now this still has to be higher than 5, so it's 6 or 7 now because it can't be 8 or 9. And the question is, have I not now put the candidates in all the columns? Because if I have, yeah, so the 8, 9 makes that 7. Because if I've got, there's still this one. One of these needs to be a 1 or a 2. So one of these needs to be a 2 because I can't put a 1 in either of them. And the other one needs to be a 5, a 6, or a 7 because I can't put 8 or 9 in either of them. So this is the row I haven't done yet, and I can't see how. Hang on, this can't be 6, 7, 8, or 9. So this would have to be a 5 if it's higher. You can see 5 is in one of those two. 2 is in one of those two. Two 7 pair in row 6. One has to be lower. Why is there a 2, 7 pair in row 6? So I can see one of those is 2. But why can't that be 5? Why couldn't I go 5, 2? Or 2, 5? The 6 is white. Okay, so yeah, that's a good one. 1 can go there, which means this is now a 1, 5 pair. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 6 and 7. So these are 2, 3, 4. And this is not the 2. So okay, Frappy. If I had a nickel for every time I made a stupid deduction, YouTube would be paying me about what they're paying me, really. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, and 9. There's no 8 there. There's no 9 there. The 6, 7 pair is resolvable. Oh, it is 2. That is a 6. That is a 7. So that is a 6. So these are 8 and 9, which are also resolvable. 8 and 9. So there's no 9 there, giving me a 4, 8 pair, making that the 9. 8 in box 5. Oh, that is a cool one. 8 in box 5. 8, 8 means that there's no 8s there, and that 8 knocks it out of that one. That is an 8. Cool spot. Thanks, Rappy. Unless did I see someone mention that before and I just forgot about it? Ken also mentioned it. So I will thank both of you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is the 3. This is a 4. Credit where credit is due. Basically, anyone other than me. 1 is not in those, so 1 is in one of those two. This is a triple. I like triples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's no 5 there. 1, 9 pair in the corners of box 5. Oh, that's also a cool one. So that's not a 2, because I can't put 1 and 9 in those. So that's not a 2, not a 2. This is the 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a 7. This is another triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. There's no 4 in those, so that's the 4. 3, 6 pair is resolvable. 3 and 6. I like that one. That was a very cool spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I always like to confirm these. This is a 1 because I've got 4 1s looking into the box. 1, 3, 4. Take 4 out of those. So this is a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 6, 8. Well, there's no 8 there. There's no 4 there. There's no 6. Oh, I've already got that. Yeah. There's no 4 there. This is a 2, 3, 5 triple. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 go into those. So this is 6, 7. This is 6, 7, 8. Five, 6, 7. No 6 there. 3, 4 resolvable. Oh, it is 2. That's the 3. So this is the 2. This is the 4. This is the 8. This is going to do some damage. This is not the 8. 6, 7 pair makes this 8, this 4, this 6, which means this is not the 6. There's no 6 in those, so that's the 6. This is... I'm worried I've done this wrong now. Which makes this 5 and 3. 6 makes this 7. 2 makes this 5. These are 1 and 2. This is 5 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. And I'll use that 4. Spider Sense is bugging me again that I've got these wrong. These are 2 and 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 5, and 9. Well, there's no 5 there, so that's the 5. And this is the 2. This is the 9, 1, 9, 2, and 1. The 1 makes this 5 and 1, which makes this 9 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, it says it's good Sudoku, so I think I'm good. This was not a Psycho Killer puzzle. I've never seen a Psycho Killer gas puzzle. I've made one. I think I've even released one. Okay, odd even count. I count slowly, slowly, slowly getting faster. Okay, normal Sudoku rules apply. I don't know if that's good or bad. An odd digit in a grey cell tells you how many of the surrounding cells, including diagonals, contain odd digits. An even digit in a grey cell tells you how many of the surrounding cells, including diagonals, contain even digits. The digit in the cell itself is not included in the count of odd or even digits. So, odd, even. Oh, crikey, I've lost all my colours because this, of course, is being published on the CTC app. Okay. Even. I've gone for more subdued colours that make it easier to see stuff, and I'd forgotten, of course, this is on the CTC app. Odd. And I can't see the squares. So, okay, I'm not going to be able to use colours at all. So these are 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9, and these are 4, 6, 8. It's going to be impossible to use colours. This is why I don't like using just grey squares like this, because the minute I colour these and colour these, which ones are squares? I can't tell. And yeah, so this is why if I'm doing anything like this, I always use an actual square. Like I will use a highlighted square, or I will use something that shows up through highlighting, because people like to highlight in something like this. I can, but yeah, it's just anyway. So that means only two rounding cells can be even. So there's one here, there's one here. So this must be odd. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. I've got no other way of doing it. This can't be 3, 5, or 7. This can't be 4 or 8. So this is the 6. There's no 6 here. Only one surrounding cell can be odd. So these all have to be even. So 2, 4, 6, 8. There's no 4 there. There's no 6 there. There's no 2 there. And this is just going to be a pencil marking nightmare because I can't see any other way of doing it. I need a 6 and an 8 in here. So the 6 will be in here. The 8 will be in here. 3 of these must be odd. But I've already got one even. I need another even digit in here, but I could possibly put it there. This could possibly be done with colouring, but I get the feeling this would be easy if you could colour, but I can't colour because the palette is too high. With the reduced palette I have in actual Sudoku pad, I might be able to do something. This is not 7, so 7 is right there. This is 5 or 9. Actually, it's 9 and 5, so this is 1. This is not 6, so it's 2 or 8, and it's 2. This may actually help. This is 6 or 8. Maybe. So 7, this is a 6-7 pair because 6 has to be down here because I need to put 2 odd digits. So this is 6-7, so this becomes 8. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 5, 9. So these are all odd. And I need 4 even cells. So 1, 2, 3. I could, yeah. And 3 of those need to be even. There's no 5 there, so 5 is in there. This is 7 and 6. Nine is in here. Six, 7 pair resolve. That's okay, Ken. Okay. So 8 is in one of those two. 7 is in one of those two. 3 is in one of those two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hang on. 1, 2. This can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. This is 9. I'm not good at spotting naked singles, but 1, 2, 3 go in there. That's not 2. It's not 3. That's not 1. So I've got 3 odd cells. This has to be, so odd, odd, odd. So this has to be even. So this is a 4. So 4 is in one of those. 2 in, oh, okay. So this is the 3. This is the 1. This is the 2. This is not the 3. Thank you. Which puts 3 in one of those. So those are now all odd. Odd, 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 odd. These are all even. 2, 4, 6, 8. There's no 4 in those. There's no 4 there. There's no 6 there. There's no 2 there. There's no 1 there. Hair of Clown. This is a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 9. There's no 3 there. There's no 4 there. So that's the 4. Which means that's not the 4. And this is a pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5 and 7 go in there. So that's 7 and 5. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. So that's a 2, 6, 8 triple. So this is a 1. That's kind of cool. This 3 makes this 9 and 3, which means this is 1 and this is a 5, 9 pair. And this is 6 or 8, which means this is 2. These are 1, 5, and 9. And that's not the 1, so this is the 1. This is really cool. I mean, it has been made in such a way that the colouring is much less required than you think. Because I think what's going to happen is we're going to get the numbers around here, and that's going to force this. Like, this can't be odd because it sees 1, 3, 5. If this was odd, it would need to be 7. It can't be 1, 3, 5, or 9. And it can't see 7 because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd need 2 more of these to be odd, and I can only get 1. So this has to be even, 2, 4, 6, or 8. Can't be 8 because I can't get 8 around here. I've already got 2. I can't get 4 because only 3 is possible. So this is 2. I've got my 2. This is not the 4. This is the 4. That's really cool. So this is not the 2. This is now 4, 8. So this is 6. There's my 2. This is odd. 1, 3. This is 5 or 7. And the 5 means that's the 7. This 6 means this is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5. This is the 6. This is that there. Mwah. 8 looks like making this 6 and this 8. Given 8 in column 1. Okay, that's been there for a very long time. This is a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3, 5, 9. There's no 5 there, so 5 is in one of those two. Not sure. Oh, the 3 as well. What is it with invisible digits? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these are 5. Ooh. I've broken the puzzle? I must have broken this puzzle. I've got this wrong. I've got this wrong. Let me do this again. Because this is 3, 5, 9. And there's a 3 and a 5 in this column. So this is the 9. This is the 5. This is the 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 9. So this is the 4 and this is the 9 and this is the 5 and this is the 9. Okay. 1, 2, 3 and this is the 1 and this is the 3. So this is 2, 5 and 6. There's 2 and a 6 here. So this is the 5, 2, 6. 6 makes this 2 and 6. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'll use that 5 to make it 1 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. 3 and 4. Hopefully I can resolve this now with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Almost got it wrong. How are you, Riff? I hope you are well. I'm feeling a little bit loopy from all the medication. I don't even remember what puzzle I started with. 2, 3, 4. Semi-non-consecutive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've only done 10 puzzles today. I don't know how long the stream has been going, but I think this has been a very slow one. Greater Sudoku. Normal Sudoku rules apply. A number in... I hope the rules have continued to be visible and everything. A number in a white circle indicates the larger of the two numbers that it touches. Okay, so this must be 1, 2. There must be a... because the largest number that this circle touches is... the larger of the two numbers that this touches is a 2. The larger of the two numbers that this touches is a 3. The larger of the two numbers this touches is a 4. The larger of the two numbers this touches is a 5. Now, there is a 1, 2, 3 in here, but there must be a 3. And the 3 is not there, so this must touch a 3. There must be a 5 on this, and it must be there. No one else has reported an echo. This must be a 6, because there must be the digit that is listed on the circle must be on the domino. So there must be a 6 on this domino. There must be a 7 on this domino. So this must be a 2, 3, because that's just the way it works without a 1. So this must be a 4, 5. 4, 5. This must be a 6, 7, and this must be an 8, 9, because they just... it's just the way it rolls. Now, this becomes the 2, and this becomes the 1, and this becomes the 2, because of the invisible 1. Now, this is 1, 2, 3, and must contain a 3. Now, I have to put a 2 down here. Now, this means this is a 4, and this is an 8. Which means this is a 9, this is a 5, this is a 4, this is an 8. Means this is an 8 by Sudoku. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 go in those. But that's the 7 and that's the 6 by Sudoku. Now this is a 1, 2 pair, which means this is the 3 and this is not the 3. There must be a 6 on this domino. There must be an 8 on this domino with something. But the largest digit on this domino is a 5. So that's the 8. This is a 1, 2, 3. No, this could still be the 5. But the largest digit on this domino is a 5. So this is 3, 4, 5 and must contain a 5. But there's no 4, 5 there. So this is 3 and 5. There must be a 4 on this domino. And it's 1, 2, 3 with 4, and I can't put 1, 2, 3 there. So that's the 4, and this is the 1, 2, 3, and it can't be a 3. I think this is correct. It feels correct. There must be a 6 on this domino, so that's 7 and 6. There must be a 5 on this domino, which must be there, and that means this is 6 and this is 7. This is 1, 2, 3, or 4. There must be a 3 on this domino with 1, 2, 3, so that gives me a triple in the column. I feel like I'm making this up as I go along. Where is 8 in this column? It's not there and it's not there. Because there's an 8 in the box and an 8 in the row. So this is the 8. These are 7 and 9. In fact, these are 1, 7, and 9. So this is a 2. There's no 7 there. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a 5. These are 1, 4, and 9. There's no 1 there. There's no 4 there. Now we know 9 is in this domino. So this is the 1. 7 is in this domino. 6 is in this domino. 4 is on this domino and it has to be there. This is not the 9. This is the 9. And this is from 1, 2, or 3. So it's 2 or 3 because it can't be a 1. This is a little weird. I feel like I don't remember this one and I'm doing it right now. 6 can't be in any of those. So 6 is in one of those two, which means this is a 6 by Sudoku. So what are these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's not 7 or 9. So that's the 8. This is not 8, which given me a 7, 9 pair, and there's a 7 there. That's a 9, that's a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And there's a 3 looking up there. That's the 4, that's the 3. This 9 looks down making this 1. And the 7 looks down making that 9 and 7. This is a pair. 1, 2, 3, 2 and 4, which means there's no 2 on this. This is a 1, 3 pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Which puts 9 in one of those two. Naughty 1 looks up. Put a 2, 3 in there. Naughty 1 looks up. Oh, that naughty 1. 2, 3, 2. Silly invisible digits. There's got to be a fundamental rule about why this is a thing. 5, 7, and 9 go in there. There's no 5 there. There's no 5 there. So this is the 5. One is in one of those two. I'd like to say I won't forget that again, but I might. Oh, this 6 means that's not 6, so this is 6. So this has to be less than 6. And it's not 1, 2, 3, or 4. So that is a 5. So 5 is in one of those two, and it's not there. So this is the 5. This is the 6, because I need to put a 6 on domino, and it's not there. I have to put 7 on this domino, but I'm not sure. So 8 can't be on this domino, or the 7 wouldn't be the highest digit. So this is the 8. That's an important deduction. So what are these? These are 1, 2, 3, 1, 4, and 7. There's no 7 there because 7 has to be on the domino. And this is the 1. So this is a 4, 7 domino. Which means this is the 2 and this is the 4. This is a 2, 3. And there's a 3 in the column. So this is 2, this is 3, this is 2. Right, 7 can't, yep, that's the 4, that's the 7. That's an important deduction. That means this is the 9 and this is the 7. That's critically important. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 8, 9. There's no 1 in the middle. See, I remembered. There's no 8, 9 there. This is the 1. Okay. Is this 8 or 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, and the 8 there means this is the 9. So this is the 8. This is the 9. This is a pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3 and 7, and that 7 makes this 3 and this 7, which makes this 1 and this 3, which means this is the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that the 8, and that is the correct solution. That's really cool. These are the sorts of constraints that I think I need to possibly like go through some of these puzzles and remind myself of these cool constraints, because stuff like that I think could be used in a really elegant way. Imagine combining that with something like a German whisper puzzle or something like that. Like you've got or a Renban, where you've just got a simple like Renban that looks minimalistic, but you throw a couple of these dots on them and it's like, wait a minute, what does that do? Because in these gas puzzles, these constraints are used in a sort of a very obvious way. But the logic of these dots could be just a really nice. No, we often see people that's like, oh, I'm going to throw a Kropke dot in as a disambiguator. But what would happen if all of a sudden you turn around and say, well, instead of using 9 Renban lines and a difference dot, I dragged it back to 6 Renban lines and half a dozen of these dots or something. And all of a sudden I played with the logic of what would happen if a Renban line was on a domino or was attached to a domino where one of the digits on the domino, but only one of the digits had to be at least a 4. Or the digit on the 4, or it's like, hang on, what? Because if I'm already like, things are twisting. Hang on, if the 4 is on the line, that's going to have an impact. But if the 4 isn't on the line, then the other digit has to be less than the 4. But the 4 could be on the line if the 4 as well in a different box if it doesn't match in the same row. So if the line was bent so that the other cell in the dot saw the whole line, then the dot would actually constrain the line quite a lot. And there's some interesting interplay there. I would not like to see this with quads, because that would just mess with your heads. It's like, hang on, which dot is which? You would need to do different colors for the different dots. But, okay, Connect 4 is the next puzzle. I'm assuming Philip has moved on to better things. Okay, normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits in cages cannot repeat and must sum to the total given. 4 digits surrounding a purple dot must form a consecutive set of digits in some order. Renban. Okay. It's a weird Renban. I like this as a concept, by the way. Rather than having Renban lines that do that, you just do a dot and say that. So rather than having a puzzle that did this, which would be another way of expressing this puzzle, you just simplify it by putting the purple dots in. I would have removed the black border from the dots myself, and possibly made the dots a little bit more vibrant because they're not in the way of pencil marks, but that's me. Anyway, so we know a 6 cage has to be 1, 2, 3. These have to form a run of consecutive digits. So this is 0 or 4. Let's stick to Sudoku. What else have we got? We've got down here, this has to be 7, 8, 9, because that's the only way you can make 24 with a run of Sudoku digits. This has to be 6 because I can't put in 10. Now, where else am I looking? I'm going to put in triples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 8, 9. There's no 9 there. In fact, that's 8 because there can't be an 8 in here. Now, there must be a 1 in this 8 cage. I'm terrible at Sudoku, by the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 5. There's no 2 there. This is a 2. Now, this is more limited than it looks. I can't use 1, 2, 6 in the cage. 1, 3, 5 doesn't work because 3 odd digits wouldn't work in here. I have to have 2 odd and 2 even digits. 1, 2, 6 doesn't work. 1, 3, 5 doesn't work. So does that mean this has to be 2, 3, 4? Because I can't, yeah. This is 2, 3, 4, and this is 1 or 5. Now, in the 1, 2, 3, 4 run, 4 must be here, so it's not here. And 1 must be here, so it's not here. I've now got a 2, 3 pair in the row. I've got a 1, 4 pair here as well. The 4 means this is not the 4, so this is the 4. Oh, okay. I'm glad you're happy and that was a complete non sequitur, Ken, because otherwise my brain would have exploded. Because I was not following. What does that have to do with anything? It doesn't have to do with anything. I'm cool that it doesn't. There's no 2 up here. Now 21. This will be the same in reverse, but I'm much worse with these combinations. I am much worse with these combinations. I'm going to use the killer calculator, which I believe in this one you can see. 489 is not going to work because I would need to make the other digit 5, 6, and 7. 579 is not going to work because they're all odd and I need 2 of these digits to be even. So this has to be 6, 7, 8. So this is going to be 5 or 9. So it's 5, 6, 7, 8 or 6, 7, 8, 9. But then I've got 6, 7, 8, 9 in here. So the 9 has to be in here and not here. And the 6 has to be in here and not here. But the 6 here means that this is not the 6. And this is the 6. This is now a 7, 8 pair. This is a 7, 8 pair. Five is in one of those 2 by Sudoku. Now this 17 cage, surely I have a problem. If this is 1, this is 2, 3, 4. Yeah, if this is 1, this is 2, 3, 4. And the last time I checked, 2, 3, 4 did not sum to 17. So this is absolutely a 5. Now this, therefore, now 6, 7, 8 is 21. So that's not it. So it's not 6, 7, 8. So there must be a 4 in here. Now 4, hang on, 3, 4, 6. 3, man, I hate being on the other Sudoku pad because it just means that all my settings are absolutely terrible. 3, 4, 6. So if this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 4, 6, 3, 4 is 7 plus 6 is 13. That doesn't work. So this is 4, 5, 6, 7. Please tell me this works. 4, 6, 7 is 17. So this is 4, 6, 7. There's no 4 there. I got there. We know 7 and 8 are both in here. Because 7 and 8 can't be in here or in here. An 8 above the 1, 3, 4. Well, we know there's a 1 in this cage. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, of course, because there is a 1 in this cage. And if there was no 4 in this, so how do you make 8 with 1, 2, 3, 4? This is 1, 3, 4, and this is a 2. That's the right way to do it. Now, if this is 9, this is 8, 7, 6, and 8, 7, and 6 does not sum to 13. 8, 7, and 6 is 21. Same problem. So this is the 5. Now I need to make 4. Now, if this was 6, 7, 8, that's not going to work. So there must be a 4 in this. It's what I was looking at before. 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, and 6 is 13. So this is 3, 4, 6. This is very clever. Anyone who thinks someone like Philip made this. This is not the 6. So this is a 1, 3, 4. So the 1 is in here and not here. Oh, there's no 3 there. So this is 4, 1, 3, 4. There's no 4 in here. The 5 makes this 9, which makes this 5. Invisible 1 in column 8. That's not an invisible 1. It's just one I didn't use. To be invisible, it needs to be a dark digit. If it's not given, it's not actually invisible. This is very clever. If this had been just a Renban with killer puzzle, I think this would be hailed as a much cleverer puzzle than it seems to be. This is 2 and 7. Then it seems to be getting credit for. I think a lot of really clever deductions are hidden behind the gas title that people just solve really quickly and then forget about. As I was saying, they don't savor them, so they don't go, oh, that was really, really clever them, because they're just powering through them so quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7 go in those. Yep, Ken, I've been there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. 1, 6, and 8 go in those. The 7 comes out of those, so that's the 7, the 8, and the 9, which means that's the 7 and the 8. This 22 is almost certainly doing much more than I'm giving it credit for, but I'm wanting to come back to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4. There's no 3 there. There's no 4 there. I'm going to have to come back to it, aren't I? This is absolutely going to be where I need to look. So this is a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's no 6 there because of the 3, 6 pair. So that means that's not 6. 6 is absolutely... Hang on, why have I got 8 in there? This is 4, 6, 7. 6 is absolutely in there, so it's not there. I can resolve the 17 cage. Oh, there's a 4 there. That's the 7, so this is the 6 and this is the 4. So this is a 7, 8 pair. The 4 makes this 1, which makes this 3 and this 4. The 3 makes this 6 and this 3, which means this is not 6. This is the 6. Now, this digit right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, and 9. That means this is the 9. This is a 2, 3. Now, these digits are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But 3 would not be possible to connect to a 7 and 8 and a 4-cell Renban line. 3, 4, 5, 6 doesn't get me there. So that's the 9. So there is a 9 in this 22 cage. So this is 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, these need to sum to 13, which means I can't do it with an 8. 6 and 7 are what get me there. So this is the 6, this is the 7, this is the 8, this is the 8. The 8 here means this is 1 and 8. The 7 here means this is 5 and 7. And that was a really cool way of resolving that. This is the 1. These are 2, 4, and 9. There is a 2 and a 4 there, so that's the 9. The 2 there makes that 4 and 2. This is beautiful, by the way. as I said, if this had been a Renban killer puzzle, I think this puzzle would have seen a lot more attention for being really, really cool. But because it was a gas, it was just a fire and forget. And I think that's really unfortunate. No, that's the 6. This 3 took 3 out of all of those and made that 3 and 2 and 1, which means this 2 and 3. And now let's look at this column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 1, 3, and 7. There's no 7 there. There's no 3 there. There's no 3 there. So that's the 3, 1, and 7. Great. What are these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 9. No 4. No, that's 4. So this is 159, so 1 on 9. This is the 1 because of that 9, which means that's 5 and that's 1. The 5 looks back, making that 9 and 5. The 1 jumps in, making that 7 and 1. And that means that's 7 and that is 8. And that was very, very cool. And yeah, if I'd relied on the calculator earlier and sort of looked at which options could be which, I could have got there. But that was pretty. That was very, very pretty. And the fact that because all of these were going to be effectively these little bendy Renbans, it was like, how about I just present these as like Renban dots? I remember early on, I think I did something similar with German Whispers, where I had a puzzle. I can't even remember what it was called, but I did a puzzle where I had dots and they had numbers in them where I think there was red dots or blue dots, or so. There were blue dots and yellow dots, and digits in blue dots would indicate how many of the digits surrounding the dot would be low, and yellow dots would be in digits, how many digits surrounding the dots would be high. And it was basically, and then I added that to German Whisper, and it was my way of kind of making people think of German Whisper in a different way. Can't even remember what that puzzle was called. No, I was, you can see some cute kitty ears. Oh, it's a Shoko Tano. I don't know if that's visible on camera. Yeah, it's a Shoko Tano. They're not kitty ears. It's a Shoka. Yeah, so I like it when people turn around and say, how can I present this in a clear way? It means exactly the same thing, but rather than having the lines, which have the opportunity of interfering with pencil marks, let's just present it in a clearer way. Very, very cool. Um, Anti-Renban. Okay, this is a bit of a worry. Normal Sudoku rules apply. A cage may not contain any duplicated or consecutive digits. For instance, if a 6 appears in a cage, then 5, 6, and 7 may not appear anywhere else in the cage. Okay. Right. So does that mean in a 5-cell cage all the digits have to be odd? Because it makes me feel that in a 5-cell cage, all of the digits would have to be odd. I'm trying to figure out how I would explain that in a way that was incontrovertible proof other than just cause. Because I don't like just cause as a logical proof. I see that on other channels and it bugs me. Oh, it's like, it's obvious that that just means they're all odd. And it's like, yeah, well, prove it to people who don't see it. And I can see that it's true. But how do you prove it apart from just trying it? And I get this in solve guides when people submit puzzles to me as well. Oh, it's obvious that this must mean this. It's like, actually, it's not. um, yeah, it is a step from the lowest. If you put 1 in, you can't put a 2, so you have to put a 3. Then you can't put a 4, so you'd have to put a 5. If you don't put a 6, so you'd have to put a 7. So yeah, you step from the lowest. And if you start with a 2, you can't put a 1 or a 3, so you go to 4. You can't put a 5, so you go to 6. You can't put a 7, so you go to 8. You can't put a 9, so you go to 10, and you're broken. So you have to start with 1 and then step. That's the way to prove it. Thank you, Sotec. Mwah. So these have to be odd so that you can step the minimum digits and get there. So these are 2, 4, 6, and 8. It's how do you explain it in a way that people can go, oh, of course, now I see it. And that's always tricky when you see something on camera and then have to figure it out. Now, these can't be consecutive, so they're not 2, 4. And these can't be consecutive, so they're not 6, 8. But when you've got a smaller cage like this, you can have opposite polarity, parity. Proving things that seem trivial. I mean, so many solve guides, people turn around and go, it's obvious that this. And it's like, I see where you're coming from, but no. So this is 3, 5, 7. So there's no 3, 5 in here. This is 1, 9. This is the 5 in the middle. Great. We've got standard Sudoku logic going on here. So now I can't put 2 in this cage. And I can't put 3 in this cage. Oh man, there's going to be... There's going to be something going on here. So for example, I can't put in this cage. I can put 1, I can't put 2, can't put 3, can't put 4, can't put 5, can't put 6, can't put 7. So this is 1, 8, 9, and I can't put 8 in it because of the 8 in the column. So this can only be 1 or 9. And I know the order from that. This is 1, this is 9. Similarly up here, I can't put 1, I can't put 2, I can't put 3, I can't put 4, I can't put 5, I can't put 6. So this is 7, 8, 9. Now there must be a 9 in it. I can't put 7 there. And I can't put 2 consecutive digits in there. So if I put an 8, I'm broken. This is 7, 9, and this is the 9, and this is the 7. I'm getting there. I can put 1. Can't put 2. I can't put 3, 4, or 5. I can't put 6, 7, or 8. So this is another 1, 9, and this 1 makes this the 9 and this the 1, which puts 1 in this cage, which means I can't put 2. I could put 3. So there is a 1. I could put 3. Can't put 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. So this is a 1, 3 pair, and I know the order. Pardon me for saying so, but this is bonkers. And I'm still not sure I understand it. So these are weird because this is 2, 5, 6, and 9. Now I can't put 2 in this cage, and 5 and 6 can't go in it. So there must be a 9 in here, and it's not there. So this is the 9 with a 5 or a 6. So there's no 9 there, and there's no 9 there. I could have got there's no 9 there either. Now, this can't be 2. or 3. It can't, hang on. It can't be 1, 2, or 3. It could be 4, 5, 6. It can't be 7, 8, or 9. But with this being 4, 5, and 6, if this, I can't make either of these 5 because then the other one would be consecutive. So these are not 5. This is 6 and 4. There's no 6 here or here. This is a 2, 5 pair. Five in, okay. That would have been useful. And I can probably do similar up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, I can't put 8 in here. 4 and 5 can't be both in here. So 1 must be, which takes 1 out of here, which means I can't put 2 in here. So this can't be 1, 2, could be 3. No, it can't be 3. So 4, 5, 6 can't be 7, 8, or 9. It can't be 5. So this is 4 or 6, which means this can't be 5. So this is 1, 4, and this is 6. This is breaking me in very strange ways. And this 1 is making this the 4 and this the 1. This is now a pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 and 8. This could be a GSP puzzle. Three in box 1. Someone said 3 in box 1. Oh, that's just a 3. But I'm tempted to look at these because they're going to interact with these boxes. But this is a triple now, which is even better. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7 and 8. Well, if I put 7 in here, it's going to be consecutive with something. So that's 6, 8. Now this could be 1. It can't be 2, 3, 4. That's actually got a lot of options now, doesn't it? So I'm actually not going to mark that yet. But I did get the 6, 8 pair. Row 5 is all equal digits left. All equal digits left. Hang on. Just 1? This can't be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It can't be 7, 8. What's wrong with 1, 5? Or it can't be 9. What's wrong with 1 or 5? What's wrong with 1, 3, 3, 5? Oh, right. This is 6 and 8. If this is 5, it's next to a 6. This is just 1. Right. And this is 1 now by Sudoku. So these are 2, 4, 6, 8. There's no 6 or 8 here, so this is 2 or 4. This is not 6 or 8, so this is 2 or 4. So this is not 2 or 4, this is 6 or 8. Huh. But I really want to look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7. Now, there's no 7 here, so this is 2, 3, 4. And if I put a 3 here, it's consecutive with something. So this is the 2, 4 pair. I can take 2, 4 out of here. This 3 means this is the 7 and this is the 3. Now, it can't be 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't be 5. Can't be 6. Can't be 7. Can't be 8. This is the 9, which means 9 is right there. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. Which means 5 is in here. This is not 6, 8 anymore because of the 6, 8 triple. This is 3 or... Whoa, I've broken the puzzle. No, I haven't. This is 7 and 3. And I thought that because I hadn't resolved it yet. This 1, of course, resolves the 1 and the 9, and now I can do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is actually a 9. This 4, of course, resolves the 2 and the 4. There's no 2, 4 in here, and that 6 resolves the 8 and the 6. 6. Okay, these are 1, 2, 4, 5. Okay. 1, 2, 4, 6. There's no 4 in those, so that's the 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 go in those, and the 8 makes that 7 and that 8. So this is 2, 5. This is 2, 5. So this is a 2, 5, 8 triple. So 1, 2, this is a 3. I know it's going to come down to these, but so this triple is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't put 5 and 6 in here. So this is the 2. 2 is in here. This is 5, 2, 8, 2, 5, 8, 5. No 5 here. So this is the 5. The 6, 8 makes this 2 and 6. Now there is a 2 in here with a 5 or a 6. So that can't be a 5, because if it was a 5, it'd be next to a 6, and if there's a 5 in here, this means it can't be a 5, and if there's a 6, that can't be a 5. So there's no 5 here, and there's no 2 here. So this is the 4, and this is the 2, and this is the 5, which means this is not the 2. This is the 2, and the 4 can't be next to the 5. This is the 6. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 4 in this road makes this 2 and 4. And I'm going to be able to do the same up here, I am sure. But let's resolve these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which I can resolve. 8 and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which I can resolve. And then these. Actually, let's do this one first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, and 8, which means this is the 6. This is the 8. This is the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. So 2 and 7 because of the invisible. This is 8 because of the thing that's there. 6 and 8. And that is the correct solution to anti-Renban. That was very cool. And thank you, Sotek, at the beginning for the right way to explain why they all had to be odd. I could see it. I just couldn't see the correct way to explain it in a clear way. And again, I will say, if it takes someone 40 minutes to solve a puzzle, then they've got more entertainment out of it. I don't see that as a negative. I still occasionally get people who comment saying, oh, I feel really bad. This one took me an hour. And it's like, okay, don't feel bad about that. It's like, did you have fun? If you had fun, awesome. I mean, this is the stream. I could possibly get away with it. Think of this as puzzles being like sex. Do you really want it to be over in 23 seconds? Okay. Hey, Donald. Did I just lose all my viewership? I'm doing okay. Wow, 12. Way better than I do on my gaming streams. Way better. I'm going to actually try and do one of those this afternoon. I've got a very full day today. I'm assuming I'm allowed to say this. Hey, missing. Okay, Pirate Sudoku. Okay. Normal Sudoku rules apply. The number 5 is only allowed to be directly adjacent, vertically and horizontally, to numbers less than 5. Okay. I don't know why it's called Pirate Sudoku, but call it what you want. Sure. So, only allowed to be directly adjacent, so orthogonally adjacent to numbers less than 5. So this 5 these need to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. This sees a 1, a 3, and a 4, so that is a 2. This sees a 1. This sees a 1, a 2, and a 3, so that's a 4. So 5 in this box has to be in one of those two. But this digit here can't be 1, 2, 3, or 4. So if I put a 5 here, what would this digit be? It'd have to be a 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it can't be. So this has to be the 5, which means 5 is in one of those. Now, I feel that can't be a 5, because then both of those would have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'd have 5, 1, 2, 3, 4s and things. So this is not a 5. Same here. If this was a 5, these would both have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and I've only got 1 available. So that's not the 5. This is the 5, and this is the 1. This is now from 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's not 1 and 2. This is from 3, 4. And I'm now feeling more comfortable. These are a 1, 2, 3, 4 quad, and there's no 1s in those. There's no 4 there. These are from 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, this is a cheating way of doing it, but there's 1 and 2 already in the column. This is not a 2. I feel this is a cheating way of doing it. What is cheating anyway? This is just a 5 because of the 5s looking into the box, which puts 5 right there, which means these are 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not a 1. That's not a 4. 5 in this box is in one of those two. And it can't be there because then both of those would have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and I've already got 3 in the column. So that's not the 5. This is the 5, which puts 5 in one of those, puts 5 right there, and these are from 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that can't be 1 or 4, and that can't be 1 or 4. That in fact is a 3 and a 2, which takes 2 out of those. I feel like I've lost me a bit. Losing Philip tends to happen quite early on in these streams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1 and 9, and this 1 makes this the 9 and the 1. That's a Discord message I need to quickly read. Okay. Oh, these are 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they're not 1. Sorry, I had forgot to populate that one. This isn't 2 or 3, so that is a 4, a 3, and a 2. There's no 2 or 3 there, so that's the 4. There's no 4 in those. 1, 3 makes this 2. This becomes the 3, which makes this the 4. There's no 3 in those. The 1 makes this 2, and this 4. Thank you, missing. Okay, now this 1 makes this 3 and 1. That takes 3 out of those, so this becomes 4 and 2. And I feel we are now down to the bare bones of Sudoku. Hip, hip, hooray. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And the 7 here makes this 6 and 7. That puts 6 right here. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's no 7 or 8 there. That's the 9. And this is the 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 7, 8, 9. And there's no 7 there. There's a 6 right there, and this is 7, 8, 9. So I've got to put a 6 in one of those two. So 6, 7, 8. 9 is in one of those two. This column, I have a funny feeling, might be a little bit restricted, with that being an 8. These are 3, 4, and 9. No 3 in either of those, so that's the 3. 4 and 9. That 4 will do the monkey. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, 8, and 9. There's no 3 there or there, so that's the 3. This is now an 8 or a 9. I never had an eye wing explained to me. I'm assuming it's just because it's an eye with one gap. No one ever bothered explaining that to me. 6 goes in one of those two. 7. This is a 6, 7 pair, so this is an 8, 9 pair. That's a 6, 7 pair in the column, which matches the 8, 9 pair in the column. Weehoo. 1, 2. This is a 3. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 8, 9. There's no 1 in either of those, so that's the 1. So this is not a 6 because of that. That's not the 6. This is the 6. This is an 8, 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is an 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a 7, which means that's not the 7. This is the 7, which means 8 and 7. That 8 looks like making that the 9 and that the 8, which means that's the 8 and that's the 9, which looks all the way down making that 8 and that 9. That 9 makes that 8 and that 9. That means that's not 8. This is a 6, 7 pair, which means that's 9, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which means this is 6 and 8, which makes that 9 and 8. This 7 looks down, making that 6 and 7, and the 7 looks all the way to the top of the grid, making 6 and 7, and that puzzle does not include a solution, but why not indeed? So yeah, I've done a lot less in this stream than I think I've done in some of the others. I'm not sure. Although I've done about half a month. This is stream 13, I think, and I'd only done up to early July. So no, this is about normal. I'm probably going to do a couple, like one more maybe. Yeah, I'm going to do one more, which is a fillet puzzle, and then I might take a bit of a break. I've got some stuff I need to do. I've got 12 people descending on my house tonight, as in they're invited and arriving and we're doing stuff. I don't know, Dorf Romantic. I am way out of touch with board games. I am supposed to be a board game expert, and well, thanks, Ratfix. You make me feel so much better. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I was supposed to be an expert on board games. And yeah, it's not a bad thing. It's like, heed not the rabble who scream revolution. They have not your interest at heart. Yeah, different soapbox. Okay, so normal Sudoku rules apply. This is a good one to end on. Okay, so I think we all know the rules to this one. Based off computer game of same name. I don't know the computer name either. Chaos and bloodshed are not a solution. Don't let them lead you astray. This Congress does not speak for me. They're playing a dangerous game. I pray the king shows you his mercy. For shame, for shame. Yo, he'd have you all unravel at the sound of screams, but the revolution is coming. The have-nots are gonna win this. It's hard to listen to you with a straight face. Chaos and bloodshed already haunt us. Honestly, you shouldn't even talk. And what about Boston? Look at the cost and all that we've lost, and you talk about Congress. My dog speaks more eloquently than thee, but strangely your mange is the same. Okay. Now, that's just making it hard for me to see the puzzle. But yes, it is a hidden diagonal. Okay. Now, I should say more Sudoku, less Hamilton, but who am I kidding? I'm really nervous about tonight's Hamilton puzzle. Okay. Nine is in one of those two. If I check the channel, I probably just had like half of my viewers leave. To there'll probably be a cool trick to this I have not seen yet. Like that is a 9 because I can't put 9 in those or those. So that right there is a 9, which means that's not the 9 and that is the 9. So this is a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There's no 7 or 3 there. So that's the 8 and there's no 8 there. This is the 3, 7, and that 3 makes that the 7 and that the 3. This is now a pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 and 8, and there's an 8 in the box. That's 2 and that's 8. Yes, that last Hamilton puzzle was an absolute doozy. Yes, I agree. That was a doozy. Whew. So 1, 2, this is a 3, so this is the 1. I would agree. The tail end of the Hamilton puzzles are definitely the harder ones. I don't think I think some people will stumble on tonight's puzzle a little bit, but that's not what's making me nervous. Yeah, that puzzle was a challenge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go in those. Nope, that's not where I'm supposed to be looking. What about here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That doesn't seem to be it either. Oh my god, tear this dude apart. Well, that's not a 1. So, oh, there we go. 1 is not there either. This is a 1, which puts 1 in one of those two, which gives me another X-Wing. So that's not a 1. This is a 1. This is a 9. See, using a puzzle like this to demonstrate an X-Wing technique in gas, I feel is a little bit more appropriate than doing a non-classic. I'm not sure why I feel that way. Possibly because in a classic you're looking for something to sort of push you a little bit. I don't know. So where is 2 in this column? Nope, it's right there. See? I learned something. There's a 2 in the... I was testing you all. Just blind. 4, nope, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 6, and 9. Well, there's no 9 there. No, there's no 9 there. So 9 is down here, and there's no 9 there. So that's the 9. Yeah. Testing you all. I wish I could cheer me up. Can I have some of that, please? I'm glad you guys enjoy them. I suppose I do 6 of them a week, and you guys try and hang out in as many of them as possible. 4 can't go in any of those because of the 2 provided 4s. So 4 is in one of those 2, which means 4 is in one of those 2, and that 4 eliminates 4 from there. So that's the 4, which takes 4 out of those, and this becomes a 3-5 pair. That's cool. There's probably more like that. Like this 2 means 2 is not in those, and this 2 means 2 is not there. So this is a 2, which puts 2 in one of those 2. 2 in one of those 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. I am in silly mode right now. Taking this horse by the reins, making red coats redder with blood stains, and I'm never going to stop until I make him drop and burn him up and scatter the remains. Watch me engage, and I'm escaping, I'm enraged, and I'm out. I go to France for more funds. I come back with more guns and ships, and so the balance shifts. We rendezvous with Rochambeau, consolidate their gifts. We can end this war in Yorktown and cut them off at sea, but for this to succeed, there is someone else we need. So he knows what to do in the trenches. You know it even fluid in French. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. There's no 5 and no 6. Someone give it up for America's favorite fighting Frenchman. Every time someone says ASMR, I have to look up what it means because I always forget. It's not a term that is ever used here. Like, I don't think I've ever seen, I don't know if it's a cultural thing, but I don't think I've ever seen an Australian use ASMR in conversation or in chat, or it's not something that just comes up. I only ever see it in conversations online. 4, 5, and 8 go in there. That's not 4. That's not 5. That's not 8. One, 2, 3. So this is 3, 4, 5. 6, 7. Yeah, this is 3, 4, 5. There's no 4 there. So this is a 3, 5 pair. This is not 4. This is 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a 7. So this is a 6. This is not a 6. Yeah, but I don't even know what it means. It's like BremSter pleading ignorance. I always have to Google what it means because I never remember. Okay, where is 6 in this row? This has to be the 6 because it can't be there. So this is the 6. This becomes a 5, 8 pair, and the 8 means this is the 5 and this is the 8, which means this is the 3 and this is the 5 and this is the 3 and this is not the 3, and the 5 makes that the 4 and that the 5. I'm not trying to say that people are using terms that they shouldn't use or anything. I'm just saying I'm completely ignorant to it. Okay. Yeah, that sort of okay. I mean, I do. I mean, I fiddle a lot in meetings. People comment that when people have this thing of, we've got this new policy at work where people aren't allowed to have devices or anything. They're supposed to focus on the meeting, and I will take a fidget spinner or something like that to the meeting. And I will sit there and I will fidget. And there's been people say, "Oh, you're not supposed to. You're supposed to pay your full attention." And literally, if I don't have something to fidget on or something to distract me, I will literally get to the point where I am interrupting everything, absolutely everything, because I am moving so much faster than the meeting, or everything, that I will literally, like, it's not that I'm not paying my full attention. It's just that if my brain doesn't have something else to do other than focus on what someone is saying at a speed that I am just not able, I need something else. I need to do it. And yeah, if I don't have something to do with my hands or anything, and there, and I know that I wasn't the target for it, because I would be sitting there like messaging people on my phone. I would be sitting there doing a change on my laptop, like implementing a technical change, and something has gone wrong with the stream. Why am I seeing something wrong with the stream? Are you guys seeing the right thing? Are you guys seeing the a third full grid on stream? Okay, because YouTube is showing me very much the wrong thing. Anyway, um, if like it's showing me literally puzzles from 2 hours ago. Anyway, on the YouTube studio thing. But if I'd be there like implementing a change, like paying attention to my screen, and people would turn around and say, "Oh, Rick's not paying attention." And I'd turn around and say, "Here's the last 8 things you said in order and the technical ramifications from it and stuff." It's like I'm not the intended audience from that, because the people who were the intended audience were the people who would be sitting there. Yeah, lag spike from hell. I'm getting similar. Who'd be sitting there on their phone, and when someone would ask a question, they'd be so, "Oh, what were we talking about again?" But yeah, it bugs me. The whole concept of phones down, nothing in your hands, just focus on the meeting. I am terrible at it. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, 5 and 9. No, well, it's not two, 5 and 9. I think. Hang on, no, it's 2 and 9. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Yeah, 2 and 9, and that 9. I'm going to finish this puzzle and call it, because I'm starting to get irritated about work. 2 makes this 6 and 2. The 6 makes this 5. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3 and 8. The 3 makes this 8 and 3. And I think there is lag and stuff going on. Something very weird is happening on YouTube Studio. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 and 6, and this 6 makes this 1 and this 6. The 1 looks up making this 7 and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 7 and 8, and the 7 makes this 8 and 7. And that is 14 minutes and the end of the puzzle, and the end of the stream. I would specifically like to thank Ken for the $5 donation. Donating is never required for my streams or for my content. I do have a Patreon. As a Patreon member of mine, you get nothing. I often don't post to my Patreon for months and months and months. The only puzzles I've posted there as exclusives have been ones that have been up for testing, and the only ones I haven't released publicly are the ones that were bad. So yeah, you get absolutely nothing for being a Patreon supporter of mine. Please join my Patreon if you would like to support me, or leave a donation, or I've got a Ko-fi or whatever it's called thing. The best way you could support me, to be honest, is come subscribe on BremSter's Games and occasionally hang out there and chat with me while I'm playing other things or whatever. I do not require anyone to pay me money. If you would like to, you may, but or not. If you're in any form of financial difficulty at all, please don't support me financially. I'm fine. But if you want to, you may. But please do not leave yourself even a little bit out to do so. I do not feel that that should be a thing at all, ever. They're puzzles. They're not supposed to be a chore or a burden. Yeah, but I thank you everyone for coming along. I hope you all do better. I am sorry about the minor seizure I had in the middle of the stream, and I'm going to go and rest up a little from that. I'm okay, but if I have a rest, I'll be better for later in the day. I'm then going to get some chores done, and I'm probably going to stream for a few hours on BremSter's Games in a few hours, a couple of hours after I've got some stuff. I'm okay. Yeah, I'll be fine. This is a fairly normal thing that happens to me a couple of times a week. It's just part of being me. Yeah, I had a major injury 30 years ago, and this is the side effect. It'll probably get worse as I get older. It was really bad for about a decade. It then got better, and then as I'm getting older, it's getting slightly worse again. Anyway, thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the guest stream. I will probably try and do an adventure stream as my next puzzle stream, but as my next Sudoku stream. But I'm probably my next puzzle stream is going to be doing. What's the name of the game I'm doing? It is Content Live. I keep forgetting the name of this one. The Telos Principle. I'll probably do another session of the Telos Principle. If you watch my previous session of the Telos Principle, I think the first 2 hours and 45 minutes were great. And then there's a puzzle at the end where I think you can skip, like when I get to one called Deception, I think you can skip to like the last 5 minutes of the stream and see the solution to the puzzle, but skip like the 40 minutes of me being completely frustrated with it because it's not entertaining at all. I should put chapter marks or anything in there. I'm glad you had laughs at things. I'm probably going to play some No Man's Sky in a just enough time to say hi Rockrat. I'm probably going to play some No Man's Sky over on BremSter's games in maybe 90 minutes to a couple of hours. So hopefully I will see many of you there, although I imagine it's going to be you guys are in bed, so go get some sleep. Thank you everyone for watching, and as always, good luck with your solving. Bye everyone.